morning. Hello. Good morning, friends. Hello. Happy International Scrapbook Day, right? Did you know, did you even know that was a thing? I bet a lot of you that are scrapbookers probably knew that was a thing, but I think that's one of those odd holidays that is on the calendar that a lot of people don't know about. So welcome, happy day. Because we have lots of fun things in store for you. I should say we, it's me and the mouse in my pocket. Nick's been out of town, but he's back today. So, but he's not back until later. Hang tight for one sec. We might have somebody pop in. We'll see, I'm not sure. We'll see if he slept in because his mom forgot to text him and remind him. Anyhow, welcome everyone. So let's see. I'm still adjusting, so I'm gonna try to see who's here. There's Carla. Good morning from Michigan. Kathy. The links aren't working for you this morning. So interesting. The links. I was wasn't messing around with that this morning, but I clicked on one of the links and it wasn't working, but then I copied and pasted it and then it worked no problem. So if you're having problems with any of the links, I don't understand what happens from week to week, but here's a tip. If you're having a problem with any of the links in the description below, copy them and paste them as opposed to try clicking on them directly. And it seems to not happen that way for everyone. So who knows, between Linkland and YouTube and all the things. I don't know why sometimes they're good and sometimes they aren't. So sorry about that. Yes, okay, Mandy, so working for Mandy, right. Try refreshing, and if that doesn't work, then copy and paste the links. We knew that worked for Karen a couple weeks ago, and that worked for me on one of them this morning. So let's see, good, hi, Sammy. Yeah, that's probably my fault, right, Sammy? I was supposed to text Sam at 9:40 this morning, so it's a little after 10 here, Utah time. Sam is on his own. He lives on his own, so he's an adult, but he wanted to come by this morning, so we may still see him, but I was supposed to text him at 9:40 and totally forgot. But it looks like he may have been here on the chat before I was. So let's see, Sammy's here. Oh, good. And that was all him, you guys. He said, well, I want to come. And then, so here he is. So I love that. That's so fun. Valley Forge. Hi, Jane. Amy, good morning from upstate New York. Sarah. Vicky, so happy to be here. I've missed Saturday mornings. Oh, good. And you're here today. Wonderful. So let's see. Yes, Diane, you can also try clearing your cookies, your cache, resetting, you know, it just, who knows why it does what it does. Oh, Colleen. Well, we'll have to see what happens. So Colleen knows that I follow jazz basketball. We follow Utah jazz basketball in this house because we live in Utah. Utah barely, I think, is still #1 in the whole NBA, which is amazing for Utah. So we're really crossing our fingers this year that we end up with a championship. Now, Colleen, on the other hand, with the Raptors, well, we'll just see how the Raptors do today. No. Who knows? The Jazz from week to week, you never know. Hi, Kyla. Rena. So I think I'm seeing that. There we go. Rena. It's this with the progressives. Rena. She's new from Helena. Welcome. All right, you guys. So welcome. If you are brand new, welcome. Love having you here. If you are new and we haven't met before, whether in person or on the interwebs, my name is Lael Konkar. And we've been doing this for the better part, well, over a year, where we get together on Saturdays and we just play. Normally we work on creative listing and we are making lists and fun lists, and it is a memory keeping. Even though we're not using photos in a lot of cases, it's memory keeping. So welcome, love having you here. Welcome to all of you that have been here on and off over the last, I don't know, year plus. Or welcome to those of you that have been here the entire time, which I know there are some of you. One of these days I'm gonna have to do a poll and figure out, I know what I'll do. Well, anyhow, I'm just thinking out loud. So anyhow, welcome. As you see me kind of interacting with people, there is a chat that happens on the right side of your YouTube page. And it's either right side or below, depending on the view that you have. And if you're not seeing the chat at all, then I think you just need to go out of full screen and then you can see the chat. The chat is really fun. There's I can see lots of things going today. I always miss a ton of the chat, but you guys have fun in the chat, and I love that. We have built this amazing little community over the last year. And my friend Vicki and I talk about that a lot. Just this community of crafters, how it is, especially over the last year, it's turned into such an amazing place for so many of us because it's a way that we can get together and connect. And what better day to do that than today, International Scrapbook Day. So, loads of things that we are going to talk about and I'm going to show and we're going to do today. A couple of housekeeping items. First of all, in the description of the video, you will find a ton of links. That's what we were talking about a few minutes ago. Those links will take you to different products I'm using or different information, different list topics that we've done in the past. For today, today is a little bit different than what we normally do. Normally, I have usually 3 or 4 list topics, and I work on those specific 3 or 4 lists. And some of you work on the list, some of you are working on other projects, some of you are catching up on things, some of you are working, some of you are cleaning the house, some of you, I don't know, maybe you're sleeping and listening in your sleep. But today is different. Today, I am going to start off with a list because it is the first day of a brand new month, and we're the first Saturday. The first Saturday of a brand new month, we usually get together and we do a list that I like to call About Last Month. And that is how I document kind of what happened over the past month, the last month. So we'll start out with that. But from there on out, it's going to be a free-for-all, you guys. Now, it'll be a little bit of a free-for-all for me, but I have a loose agenda planned. I am going to be recovering one of my inserts. It's one of the biggest questions I have is what happens when this is full and some of the pages start getting loose. So I'll be recovering an insert and I'll go through my process to do that. I'm going to be swatching some ink. So I have lots of new Distress Oxide inks and I want to swatch those. So I'll kind of go through that process and you guys can play and, you know, hang out, whatever. Lots and lots and lots of prizes throughout the day. So we'll talk about the first one of those in a sec. I'll be doing some memory keeping in my Traveler's Notebook, but then I'm also going to be spending time just catching up on some of my lists. There are a lot of times when I don't finish a list in one of our sessions. So I thought, what better day than today just to kind of have it be a catch-up day. So that is the plan as of now. Let me go back to the chat for a second. Hi, is that Annetta? Joanna? Am I going to the Scrapbook Expo? So Ariana, I am not planning on it. Typically my fall is super, super, super packed with in-person teaching. So right now it is super packed. In person, some, and then some have gone virtual, but I don't have any plans to do that. I used to teach there quite a bit though at the Expo, all over the country. I'm Marilee. We haven't seen you for a while, right? Mari. Oh, good. This is the best thing too. I see Mary. I see Mary explaining to someone how to see the chat. And this is a great, you guys, not only is this a super friendly bunch, a great community, but super helpful. So if you have questions and I'm not seeing your question, which 9 times out of 10, I won't because it's really hard for me to talk and think and then also read at the same time. It's like this, you know, when you had to, when you had to, you know, pat your head and rub your stomach, anyhow. But yes, questions, super helpful bunch. So if I miss something, then anyone feel free to pop in and answer. If you have a question and I miss it, sometimes if you type it in all caps, that catches my eye. But usually that's like when we're started and I'm working. So let me just, let's just see. Yes, a catch-up day, right. So it's going to be totally, well, they're always casual. You guys know that, but catch-up day. So as we talk about catch-up day when it comes to lists, I have included links in the description of the video down below. There are 2 separate links. One is for the full list of lists that we did in 2020, and that's something that you can download. And then the second one is a list of our lists that we've done January through March of 2021. So I will be updating that on a quarterly basis. So I will update that again in early July. But if you are listing and you need to catch up on something, you can refer back to either of those. But if you're brand new, and I love it when we have newbies. If you're brand new, those are a really great place to start. All right, you guys, let's see. I know I've missed a ton. Oh, Marilee's out of quarantine. Yay, good for you. Look, okay, darn it. Lakita, I'm going to say Lakita. I haven't seen you for a while either here, or you may have been here, but I may have missed you. Karen, you cleaned up your desk. Not me. It's a total mess in here. Oh, thank you, Shanna. My little top. This is a gift from my friend Vicky. It has fun little doodads here and fun little kind of bell sleeve bat wings. Hi, Nancy. Nancy, I went to the post office yesterday. Thank you so much for your nice card and your writing board. That was so sweet. I just haven't had a chance to email you to thank you, so I'm glad I saw you pop in there. Okay, you guys. Oh, I know. I think I said, hi, Karen. My friend Karen, my non-scrapbooker friend. My friend that we go back, oh my gosh. Well, a couple weekends ago, I was with my friend Sherry, and we talked about that Sherry and I have been friends since 1986. Well, Karen and I have been friends since 95 when I got married. And then her husband and my husband are fraternity brothers and great friends. So, hi, Karen. Yes, I haven't seen you in forever. These are the new glasses. I think Sarah asked about the new glasses too. Still adjusting. Definitely still adjusting. I get migraines a lot, and so I have to be careful about wearing these too much, or they'll kind of, all of this, as I'm still getting used to the progresses, will trigger migraines. So, you know, it's all about, I don't know, getting older, right? All right, you guys. So, let's see, the year you graduated high school. That is the year I graduated high school as well. I mean, it was 2006 when I graduated high school, not 1986, 2006, right? All right, you guys. So I think, well, here's the deal. I said I have lots of prizes today. And so I have a first prize to give away because I thought, well, gosh, why don't we just kick off the day with the prize? So I'm going to show you what the prize is. And now that just reminds me, I didn't grab it. So hang on. It's in here. I just need to grab it. Lots and lots of things happening to keep Lael a little bit unorganized over the last couple of days. Well, always. Hang on. I'm getting what I need. All right. So, I think I mentioned to you guys a couple weeks ago that one of you in the community placed a very nice sized order on my website. And she left a comment or note on the order and said, oh my gosh, thank you so much for everything that you've done over the last year. She bought a number of kits. 3 of the kits she wanted to donate back to whatever I wanted to do with them. And I thought, well, my gosh, guess what? What better way to give away those kits than today, right? Our International Scrapbook Day. So I will be giving those away throughout the day along with lots of other things. But the first one is this. So guys, it is a kit for my best friend's mini book project kit. And if you haven't seen this, there is a flip through video here on my YouTube channel. But oh my gosh, you guys, it is so fun. So the kit includes everything that you need to make the project, colors, step-by-step instructions, and I'm not going through all the little interactive things. Well, in here, but there's tons and tons of like little fun, cool things. So the project kit, everything you need to put it together, color, step-by-step instructions, and a 3+ hour video class with me where I actually make another one of these with you guys. So the wonderful, wonderful, wonderful person that bought 3 extra kits and donated them was PK. So thank you so much, PK. And the first one I'm going to give away. I'm actually, some of the giveaways that we do today will be live, so you need to be present to win. So I'll give those away in the chat. And then others, if you can't watch live, we'll do kind of some giveaways in the comments. So I know, so sweet of her. You guys, so many of you are so generous with things that you have purchased and donated back, or just purchased and said, hey, will you give this away? even just so generous with your comments and your emails and everything. So I honestly can't thank you guys enough for that. So all I'm going to do here is I'm going to come over to my iPad and I'm going to scroll up, and then where I stop, the person that left that comment in the chat is going to win. So here we go. That winner is Elise Harker. Elise, that is so fun. Oh my gosh, I know Elise. Elise, I didn't even see that you were here, but congratulations to you. So as I do this, since Nick isn't here, my husband, Nick, was helping me quite a bit when we had our big 52-week celebration. So each time that I announce a winner, I need to make sure to fill out my little spreadsheet here, or else you winners won't be happy with me. So Elise, congratulations, friend. Shoot me an email, lailbymail@gmail.com. I know I have your address, but just shoot me an email anyway. And you guys, it'll probably take me a week or so to get all the prizes out. Maybe up to 2 weeks, just because we have a lot of orders now from this weekend that we're going to need to get out as well. So congratulations, Elise. Now don't be sad if you didn't win, because there's a lot more prizes coming throughout the day, friends. Okay, so now, where should I put that to get that? Let's put that right there. All right. Okay. It's hot. It's hot. Lael's having a hot flash, so this is going to be an interesting day as it pertains to that. I have a little fan here that I think I'm going to have to turn on. All right, guys, so let's do this. I'm going to just check comments again real quick. Sarah's in 1985. 80s were the best. I agree, Diane, especially 80s music, right? Oh, those were old comments. I mean, not old comments, old chat, but that's from when I flipped back up. Elise, well, you won a good prize, my friend. You won this project kit. And I just randomly drew you from one of your comments above. All right, Julie, I see Julie's new. Welcome, Julie. We love having newbies with us. I think you'll find it is super fun here on Saturdays, super fun little community. Frog in my throat. And I'm glad that you popped in the chat, Julie, because I think sometimes people are hesitant to pop in when they're new. So welcome. Okay, you guys, I think we are ready to, I know, right? What a fun day to be a newbie. We may have quite a few newbies. We'll see from the Crop and Create Delivered event that I did a quick little lunch and learn at last weekend. So if you're here from Crop and Create Delivered, welcome to you too. Okay. Oh, Annette, we're never old, right? It's just here, right? Here is where we're not old. Here is where we feel old, right? Well, and maybe an ankle or two or a knee. Cheap Trick, oh my gosh. Cheap Trick released a new album like today? Or are we talking a long time ago? Speaking of new album releases, Coldplay is very soon. I think maybe it even happened the last couple days, but I love Coldplay, so I can't wait for that. All right, you guys. Yes, and Mandy, I will be part of Crop and Create Delivered in the fall, the full event, so that will be fun. Okay, you guys, here we go. I am going to, for sure, turn on the fan. And I am going to, I'm just looking, you can see me, I'm looking down at the comments. Okay. Okay, friends, so here we go. I'm going to flip the camera and we'll do our first list, the about last month list. So let me flip. Oh, I know. If you were with me on what, Thursday night? Thursday night we had our May setup of our Traveler's Notebook as part of the May-June kit. And I said, oh, guess what? I'm going to have this really cool software where I can just press a button and I'll have two different cameras and it'll alternate between this and this and I don't have to spend the... yeah, it will happen. Just didn't happen before today. So I need to do a lot of testing to make sure I know exactly what I'm doing. So we're still going to spin the camera. With that said, for a while, we aren't going to look at Lael here. We're going to be looking down at what I'm doing, which means I need to flip the camera. I always like to say it's like we're at Disneyland, which, by the way, Disneyland opened yesterday. Isn't that so cool? Reopened yesterday. So we're at Disneyland, arms and legs inside the ride at all times. If you are not a fan of the teacups because you get dizzy, like I do, then you just might want to close your eyes or look away for a sec while I spin. So I'll count us down. 1, 2, oh, hang on. And 3. All right, there's our spin. And then it always takes a sec to get resituated here. Let me open up some blinds to let in more light. And I will also turn on the studio lights, which is where things are gonna get even hotter in here. Oh, Diane, that's interesting. Oh, Colleen, thank you. Yes, 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 there's the cord. That's why the cord is there, to remind us. You guys are always so good about reminding me to plug in the phone, because if there's low battery and my phone tells me it's low battery, then you guys get lost for a second. And sometimes it takes me a minute to realize that you guys are lost. So we don't want anyone lost. Alrighty, so there's some lights that will help a little bit with the shadows, I think. All right, so let's have a little sip of coffee again. Okay, so good to know, Sarah. I didn't know that. The Disneyland, probably California Adventure as well, only open to California residents for a few months while they kind of get back into the swing of things. And right, okay, quick sip of coffee and we're going to get going. Right, also helps with capacity because I'm sure capacity-wise you'd have a lot, especially right off the bat. Elise, I just, for some reason, when you said thank you, Lil, popped into my head your daughter, because your daughter horses or unicorns or something, right? That's just, I don't know, that just all of a sudden popped into my head. Okay, Mary mentioned something super familiar, you guys. I mean, super familiar, super, where did that come from? Oh, super helpful for me. If you like what we're doing and you like basically any of our Saturdays, please give the video a thumbs up. That is really, really, really important to the way all the social media things work. And in a lot of cases, that's how new people find us. Because the more interaction that we have on the videos, the chatting and the comments and the likes, then YouTube sees that and goes, oh, you know what? Maybe we want to recommend this to other people that like Traveler's Notebooks or searching for Traveler's Notebooks or crafting or listing or whatever it is. So super important. Yes. Likes, thumbs up, thumbs down. No. If you want to give it a thumbs down, then that's okay. Cause it's your prerogative, but maybe, you know, maybe not, maybe don't give it a thumbs down. I know I'm not for everyone. All right. So, what I thought we'd first start off doing is we are going to take a quick look at our 3 lists from last week. Hi, Leanne. Hi, Debbie. Our 3 lists that we did last week. So this was the first list. And oh my gosh, you guys, I think we had so much fun with this list. This one was our favorite smells. Now, the one that I can't believe I forgot to put on here is like copper tone suntan lotion. I love the smell of, I can't say sunscreen, but I love the smell of like copper tone. And someone had left a comment on the video from last week, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's it. So at one point I'll do another list, but here we just listed the smells that we liked. And I used 2 of Vicki Boutin's ephemera from Color Study collection, which Color Study, you know, I have all the love for Color Study. Ooh, Kristen, okay, coconut, for sure. The tropic, not the banana one. But I'm sure the banana one's good too. But, so we had so much fun with this, and I just used a ton of different letter stickers, right? Tons of different letter stickers from, Doodlebug. And those were the My Type. Now there was one thing that we played around with a little bit that I wanted to show you guys if you were here last week. Oh, really quick. I saw Julie had a question. Julie, how long does delivery typically take to Pennsylvania if you place an order on my website today? So that is a loaded question. First of all, I'm in Utah. If you, priority usually takes 2 or 3 days. It depends on if you are out in the sticks or you are in a more populated area. So that's first of all. Number 2, we have to caveat that because that's when the post office is operating at something less than a snail's pace, which in some cases they have been doing lately. Ravioli lasagna. Yes, Karen, that is one of my favorite smells. That's one of Karen's recipes. Actually, that is also over here, right? That's probably why you said that, Karen, because ravioli lasagna is over there. Not so much the smells, but it does smell good too. Julie, the last answer to your question then is, normally, well, I should say normally, sometimes we turn orders around in a day. And when I say we, I mean me and Scatter. And then Nick. Nick helps a lot when he can in between his real job. This week with National Scrapbook Day, it's probably going to take us a couple more days than that. So usually we say 3 to 5 business days. The earlier that you order in the day, because that's how we fill and ship orders when they're placed. So those that are shipped this morning would ship before those that are shipped tomorrow night or Monday. Hopefully that helps. Oh, Diane, you have no idea. Beach by Bobbi Brown is one of my very, very favorite perfumes. I have 2 bottles right now that are brand new. And I almost strictly only use those for vacation because then it's just special. But I love that. Okay, so what I wanted to show you on here, though, one of the things that we were doing, we were using Vicky's, where are they? Puffy stickers. The puffy stickers are, there. I know they're in my little pack here somewhere. Anyhow, the puffy stickers are these little guys. So they're a little bit puffy, and they are in shapes. There we go. They are in shapes. And they have that black line around them. And you know that black line around them is just wonderful because I like to outline everything. So that's just part of the sticker. So those are the puffy, Color Study puffy stickers. So as I was adding just little accents at the very end, next to rain, somebody said, well, you know what? You should cut one of these. You should cut the heart and make a raindrop. And I said, well, you know what? Let's try it out. Let's see what happens. So we got our little scissors and I cut the purple heart in half. And then the problem was half of it didn't have a black outline on it. So we played a little bit. And this is how that turned out. And some of you, if you hung around last time, may have seen that. That is a half of a heart. And I took my little black Sharpie and basically made that line right there. So you can see how I took that little black Sharpie and I made the line. Now, you'll see there's some black smudging around that. The reason there's black smudging around that is because, and I tested it because I wanted to see what would happen. Once I did the Sharpie, we weren't sure if that surface, because it's kind of slick plastic, if it would hold the Sharpie. And so right after I did it, I wiped it and it smeared. Then I put Sharpie on again and I let it sit, and I don't know, later that afternoon, it was fine. So now you know, you can take your little things like this and cut them. And then if you want to outline again, basically you can use Sharpie on these things. You just need to let them dry. So the suggestion was that I could take that and put that right there next to the rain, which I thought was really fun. And we just played. So that's a lot of times what we do. You guys say, hey, how would this work? Or what if we did this? Or you should try this. And I do. Sometimes things work and sometimes they don't, right? Okay. So when you guys are talking about delivery time, that's because I'm the kind of person that feels very guilty all the time, no matter what. And so I know if there are orders that are sitting there that need to be shipped, even if they were placed yesterday, then I just feel guilty and feel like that they should go out today because, hello, Amazon, and we all want our things as fast as possible. And then Nick reminds me, honey, you're not Amazon. You can't do that. So anyhow, this was our first list, or I don't know, third list, whatever it was. Okay, then 2 more lists that we did, and I actually had skipped around because I had left this space blank because when I was moving on after this list, long story, never mind, I wouldn't go over that. It just wasn't going to, the product I was going to use was really clashing with this, so I just left a blank space and then added that there. Kari! Okay, did I say that right, my friend KK? Kari? I've been trying really hard. Now, you better tell me that that's Kari and not Carrie, or else the whole way I figured out how to finally remember how to pronounce your name. Yes. So we have two Karis. We have a Kari and a Carrie, and they both spell their name the same exact way. So Lael got very confused for a long time. Kari, I've got it. Okay. These were the next two lists, the last two lists that we did last week. One was our quirks, right? Not to be confused with our bad habits. Although if you're Nick, my husband, he gave me lots of ideas for quirks that were bad habits. And I had to set him straight and say, honey, already did the bad habits list. These are the quirks. Totally different things, right? We used the brand new List It 3 stamp for our little clip there. And then used some really fun products from 49 to Market. This one, Stores That Age Me. And we had lots of fun with that. You know what, Kari, I didn't help Vicky. I didn't tell her my little mnemonic for remembering. And I'm going to scroll for just a minute and I'll tell you how I remember. Kaplan. It's all about the Kaplan. Because when Jack, our oldest son, was in high school doing the ACTs, we invested in a Kaplan course for him. And it actually raised his score like 3 or 4 points. And he ended up with a 32, which on the ACT is really good. So I remembered, Kari, how to pronounce your name because Kaplan, the Kaplan test, and Jack raised his score from the Kaplan. So Kari Kaplan. And that's the little way in my head that I always have to try to remember weird things like that. So there you go. All right, so here we go. Last one, Stores That Age Me. We had a lot of fun with this one. Stores like Blockbuster Video, Radio Shack, Mervyn's, Archivers, right? The scrapbook store, the regional kind of scrapbook chain that was around for a while. Anyhow, we had a lot of fun with that. And what we also found was we always have lots of folks here that are from Canada. And the Canadians had some different things on their list. You guys had some stores that here in the US we had never heard of. So there we go. Those were our 3 lists from last week. All right, so now we are ready for our first list of today. This one, it's time to turn on the fan. Hang on. This one is about last month. Oh, I just remembered one of the things I forgot to get out. Where would that little notebook be that I write my things in? Right. So if you guys saw all the things stacked in piles for everything that we're doing today, trying so hard to have everything so organized. And of course, so for my about last month list, hang on, I have an idea because I actually already did one version of this list. But hang on, guys, because I will be stuck if I don't find this. Oh, here it is. Hopefully. Okay, hang on. Oh, darn it. Darn it. Okay, friends, just bear with me for a sec. Chit chat. I know what I'll do. I'll come back and do another price. Once I find, where is that, Leo? Once I find. So here's the deal, and I think you can still hear me. This is where I wish Nick was here, or Sam. I'd say, hey, please try to find this for me. When I do this about last month type of list, hang on. I have to write everything down from last month or I won't remember what I want to list. And okay. Well, I'll look for that in a minute. We'll just get started, friends. Jeez, Louise. Oh, Lisa, you have no idea. Yes, lose things, can't remember things. Carol Ann, 1, 2, 3, 4 is Angel time. That you are probably East Coast time because I am Mountain time. So it was actually 10:34 instead of 12:34. I know. So Robin always makes lists and lose them. That's why Traveler's Notebook is nice, because if you make all your lists in there, then you're not losing, except it's just the thing that I can't find right now. All right. We'll start and then then I'll find it. All right. So what I thought I would use this month, my head is like on a swivel right now, trying to look in the giant mess of things that are everywhere to see where that is. All right. So for about last month, this is kind of the way that I have started doing memory keeping, at least a little bit of it. So when we look at, let's see here. There we go. So this was January. January would look like February, would look like March, because this one is, there's February, right? Photos over here, month over here, lots of listing about what happened. And March is right almost there, right? So similar format. And I started doing this last August. And this has been a great way for me to do a little bit of memory keeping every month about what happened. So I always call it about last month. It basically always follows the same format in that I have the month right here. I just do a big run-on list, and it's just different things that happen. Some things are big. If something big happened, like Jack's car getting stolen out of our driveway, some things are small, like, oh, look, I have new little Lil by mail bags, and everything in between. And then over here, I always do 5 photos and then add a little bit of decorating. So yes, garden party, I know, right? So for April, that's exactly what we're going to do again. Here is my photo. Let's see. Kristen just said, question, fresh, how you collage 5 photos? I'm forced to put up 6. So I use to print my photos, I almost exclusively, unless I'm printing something that's larger than a 5x7, I use my Epson PictureMate PM400. That we talk about all of the time. It is linked in the description of the video if you don't know anything about that printer. It is amazing. Lots of us in the industry use that printer just because it's affordable as far as printers go, especially for the quality. There is an app with that, Kristen. There's a free app that you can use on your phone, and it is called the Epson, oh my gosh, Creative Print. It just totally came out of my head. I think it's the Creative Print. You guys have to remind me. It's just I click on it and it opens up and I use it. But in that app, super, super, super easy to use, there are a bunch of canvases, like pre-designed canvases. And one of the canvases would look like that. Actually, let's just draw what it would look like. It would really look like this. Right? So it's a 4x6 Creative Print. Thank you. It's a 4x6. And through that app, I access my camera roll on my phone and I say, okay, let's put a photo there, 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 and there. That's how I do that. I just leave that space blank. I don't put a photo there. There are a ton of different canvases or templates that look like this, and you decide which one you want. You can even decide if you want spaces, white space between your photos or not. It does 4x6s, 5x7s, 3.5x5s. How do you decide which size corner rounder to use in your traveler's notebook? Colleen, that's a good question. Usually whichever one is handy. I really use 3 different corner rounders for my crafting, and it just depends on what I'm doing, right? This guy is the corner chomper from Crocodile, or from We Are Memory Keepers. It has 2 ends, or 2 different sizes, a 1/4 inch and a 1/2 inch. This is super, super, super sturdy. It will round the corners of anything. Leather, I was going to say wood, not really wood, maybe really thin, maybe wood veneer type things. Paper for sure, layered paper, whatever it is. This guy is one of the 2 that come in a pack. Oh, that just reminded me. I said I would do a prize. I need to do a prize here in a sec. There's a pack of 2 that come together in this little corner rounder. So it's a set. One is 1 inch, one is a 1/2 inch. Generally, when I'm corner rounding, I prefer that 1 inch curve. On this one, I prefer the 1/2 inch. In fact, let me just do something. Let's just use this little corner here. So this is 1/2 inch on this guy, and it gives it a really nice round, right? The 1/4 inch here is definitely not as round. And I didn't do those very well. It's a little bit blunt there still. But this one on this tool is probably, well, it's kind of in between. It's a little bit more pointy than the Traveler's Notebook inserts that I use. This guy is a little bit more round than the Traveler's Notebook inserts that I use. I don't want to round the rest of that, so let's see what else we have here that I could round with this guy. This is the 1 inch. So that 1 inch is a little bit different. Anyhow, it just whatever I have handy. I think some people, if you are super type A, you would probably use the 1/2 inch version of this just because it's going to be closer to the curve on your insert if you're using this insert. If you don't care, I usually use the 1 inch. Hopefully that helps. Yes, Sarah. So Sarah just mentioned, and okay, I don't think I can give one of those away because I don't know how many have sold yet, and I could get myself in trouble. Actually, though, it'll be okay because I'll just, don't worry about it. So here's the next prize I'm going to give, since it was taking me so long to try to find that. And I couldn't, I still couldn't find it, so I'm still going to have to look. I need to add this prize on here because it wasn't on here, guys. Oh, I don't want to show you all those things because those are all secrets. All right, so the prize I'm doing right now is the tool bundle. So one of the big items I have, there's probably 27 new products and bundles that I added this morning as part of National Scrapbook Day. But one that Sarah mentioned that is really fun is my favorite tools bundle. So if you guys have been with me for a while, you know these are the things I use all the time. My 6-inch steel ruler, and these are all available on my website individually, like a la carte. But here we're like, with this bundle, we're like going to the Mexican food restaurant and we are getting the 5-piece combination, right? Okay, so this, oh no, not those, ding-a-ling. The fussy cutting scissors, the ruler, the reverse grip tweezers, the Sharpie pen, oh, and the corner rounder bundle. So it was this corner rounder and then also the 1/2 inch. So that bundle, I think is normally 33 or 38 and I have it on sale for 25. So let's give away one of those. The tool bundle, I'm gonna do the same thing again, you guys. I am just going to scroll up randomly in the comments. I'm gonna let my finger do the walking, kind of like in the old yellow pages. I'll let my finger do the walking and then we'll just see where it lands. Right there, Diane Barnes. Diane Barnes, you are the winner of the tool bundle. So Diane, please shoot me an email and we'll get you taken care of. Yours may be a couple days later, as I'll have to put one together. I need to make sure I can still put one together. I mean, I know I can, but it just may take a little bit longer. All right, so here we are. Lots of extraneous conversations today, but that's okay because that's just what we're doing. We're hanging out. Okie doke. So now here we are. Dawn, your tweezers have too big of tips. These guys, you may have different tweezers, I bet, right? These are the reverse grip where you actually squeeze them to open them instead of normally you squeeze tweezers to close. So these give you a lot more control. You're able to pick up much smaller things, at least I find. Okay, so these are the photos that I am using for, well, I guess this is the photo, but these are the individual photos that I am using for the month of April. So I am going to grab my, alrighty, where did it go? Oh, there it is. My tape gun, right? My tape gun. I know the reverse tweezers, Kari, are a little bit, because we're conditioned, right? We're conditioned to squeezing to close, squeezing to open. Oh, Michelle said, I wish we could get Lael to 10,000 subscribers. I will tell you, you guys, last year about this time, I think I was just about 4,000. So it has grown a ton in a year. And it's growing exponentially again. And that is because you guys, the comments, the interactions, the chats, the likes have a big deal to do with it. So YouTube is seeing that and recommending me to other people, which is so awesome. We'll get there. We will get to 10,000 here on YouTube very soon. And when we do, we will have a huge prize, big celebration. Hi, Brandy. No late. It's you guys. We are here. I am here all day. I am here until 5 p.m. Pacific time. So you can come and go. We'll be doing prizes throughout the day. We'll be playing and all the fun things. So, all right. So there's my photo. I need to put my month over here. And I always, when I do my month, I always use almost always, I shouldn't say always, but I always use the Simple Stories Color Vibe Alpha stickers. You guys see me use these a ton. The bang for your buck, I think they are $9 for the pad, and there's 1,700 stickers. So each pad, and there's all different colors, has 6 different colors, and then each color has 1, 2, 3 different fonts or size fonts. So I think I'll probably use the brights on this one because I'm going to use Color Study. What we have right here, and I talk, well, I don't necessarily make a point of talking, but a lot of times when I'm pulling product out, you guys say, what is that? What do you store your things in? How do you organize your things? And I still have videos planned for that. They just haven't happened. But this is how I store my collections when I first start working with them. So this is Vicky's Color Study collection. Everything from Color Study is in here. The 6x8 pad, the washi, all the bits and pieces, or all the die cuts, the stickers, the puffy stickers, everything. These are just little pouches that I get on Amazon, and they are linked in the description below. While we're talking storage, and I have some fun storage things I'll be giving away later, but while we're talking storage, you guys know that scrapbook.com has a lot of my favorite storage things that I use all the time. They, this weekend for National Scrapbook Day, are having a huge sale on a lot of their exclusive products, including some of their, including their storage items. So I've linked in the description below as well. So if you are in the need for some different storage things, you should totally check that out. So here's Vicky. Here's Vicky. Now I know we won't see Vicky join us today. She has a very large thing going on this weekend. She has a big class on her YouTube channel, exclusive for people that purchased one of her kits, or one of her kits. Anyhow, so we won't see her today, but we love it. I love it when she comes. Anyhow, lots of die cuts, stickers, all the things. So I figured I would somehow use some of those things for April. And this little guy, oh goodness, that would be so pretty. I love the turquoise with the orange and then kind of that bright pink. So that may end up going there. It just kind of jumped out at me, right? So then I just start looking at what else I have, right? I don't know. It might be those two together. These are the washi, some of the washi from her Color Study collection. So Color Study I have linked in the description of the video as well. Lots of Color Study. Oh, her clips. I just brought those in as well. The clips that coordinate with the collection. Let's see. I think I just missed something. Somebody had a question. So Britta just asked a great question. She said, I know you don't have as much 12 by 12 paper, but how do you store collection paper with those pouches? So here's the deal. Britta, if I was storing 12 by 12 paper, I would not store the paper in here because this is obviously not tall enough. These are like, I don't know, 13 by 11 or 9 or something. Probably what I would do, I would still put all of my embellishments in there, and these are They come in a pack 4 or 5. I think they come in a pack of 5. So these, probably what I would use to store 12 by 12 paper to go right along with it. These are from scrapbook.com. So this is a really thick, opaque plastic that would fit my 12 by 12 papers. So that is, like, when I was out of town and I was working on the May-June Traveler's Notebook Kit, that's what I did. I just put all the things that I needed for that specifically right in here. So depending on how much paper that you had from the collection, these will stretch. I think they stretch pretty well, but that's what I would use. That's what I would do. And those are scrapbook.com. So if you follow that link in the description of the video to their storage things, you will find those. Okay. Yes, Pam, these are great 8.5 by 11 digital papers. So, and you guys, this is how, this is layout, this is what we're doing. So, there'll be probably a lot of this today as, my back's turned, hang on, as we are going through a lot of this stuff. Well, here's an example. These are my 8.5 by 11 just white cardstock that I use. So see, that's 8.5 by 11 paper, and that fits in there really well. I have to put it back though, or else the mess will be even more of a mess. All right. Hi, Shrilly. Oh my gosh, Shrilly Temple. That's fun. Welcome. Today is just a fun day. We're just kind of, we are doing some things, but it's also just answering questions and kind of hanging out. All right. So back to our task at hand about last month for April. So I know I want to use that, and I think those will be really fun. I love this, oh goodness, it's just so fun. So I think this washi, I will put along the bottom. So it will go right along there, right? Isn't that fun? Now, I don't think, now that I see that though, that has black. So I will use this, but I probably won't use the navy. I think I might pull in a black. Let's see. That is all, oh, this is perfect. Okay, so this is also from Color Study. And this is that black that says daily observation currently. So that's actually perfect for this about last month that I am doing. All right, so generally, if we look at my little template, because basically it's what it is, you guys. Basically, I just kind of do the same thing every month. And it's actually very freeing that way because I don't have to think. All I have to think about is, okay, what product do I want to use this month? Because it's always laid out the same. Now, I intersperse these in my regular listing traveler's notebook because I am making a list. This is a list of things that happen. But I know some people, if you're doing this kind of about last month concept, you might be doing it in an entirely different traveler's notebook insert. Kind of like this. So some of you purchased this I can't even remember what it's called now. Everyday something or other. Anyhow, but for this one, if I was continuing on with this, then this entire insert would have my about last month for every month. Okay. Everyday Memories, I think it was. No, not Everyday Memories. Year in Review. That's what it was called. Okay. Shrilly, you did your first scrapbook page today. Good for you. Yes. Happy International Scrapbook Day. Normally, and I think people just say NSD, National Scrapbook Day, but we have lots of international folks that join us from day to day, hour to hour. So it's international. How many? Oh, Frozen. All right. I don't think we're frozen. Usually, I can see if we're frozen. So Nancy, I hate to say it, but hopefully it's you and not us. Well, me, because if it's me, then that's sad. So someone else pipe in, not frozen. Okay, Mandy's not frozen. Sarah, how many notebooks do you have running at one time? Oh my gosh, Sarah. So a lot. I use a traveler's notebook for everything. I use one for calendar. I use one for notes. I use one for projects. I use one for listing. Really, I have a lot. I use one for travel where I'm documenting different trips that we go on. Well, that we've been on, road trips recently, but I have a lot. All right, so this guy's going to go down next. Sometimes when I'm working in my insert, especially when we get to this point in the insert, we're kind of nearing the end, right? The reason I bring that up, you can see the left side has a lot of going on, right? And the right side, not much at all, because we're towards the end. It's like when you read a book. Your hand has to hold this part because it's got a lot. But not so much here. So we start to end up with things being a little bit topsy-turvy or a little bit uneven. In this case, I am making my list directly on the page. In some cases, I start to do this when we get towards the end of an insert where I make the entire list. This piece right here, this kind of bottom stripe, I made the entire list on that, on my table, and then glued it in or adhered it in with my tape runner. Just because when things start to get a little bumpy, it's a little bit easier to do that. But my About Last Month lists, I always do just directly on the page. So you see my washi go bloop a little bit. And it makes that noise when it does it. You know that, right? Frozen. So Tracy, yeah. Hopefully, yeah, I think maybe a few of you are frozen. So maybe it's just internet. Maybe it's internet somewhere. It'd be interesting to know if you guys all have the same internet service provider or and we're in the same part of the country or something. All right, so that little guy will go right there. One of my favorite things to do with washi, well, you guys know I love washi because washi, I mean, look at that. It makes for such a great accent, right? But those two together, what makes those two washi together work so well? A couple of different things. Number one, the contrast in color, right? So the black really helps to kind of anchor your eye towards the bottom of the page here. It has an ending point, right? The black, let me grab these. The black is also picking up these black flowers. But the third thing is that you have a whiter strip of washi with a thinner strip of washi. So they balance each other out really well. Okay, so Rhonda, you found me when you were looking for ideas to do Bible journaling. I love that. And here's the thing, you guys. Last weekend when I did a little lunch and learn hour session or so for the Crop and Create Delivered event, I had watched a number of other classes that weekend. Kathy Zilski, which if you don't know Kathy Zilski, a designer that's been around in the industry forever and a day, and she is a hoot. But she did a kind of lunch and learn talking about different design concepts and how balance and different things. She had 4 different design concepts that really, she said, apply to pretty much everything that you're doing, no matter what you're working on. So if you're working on a 12 by 12 scrapbook page, or you're working on a double spread, or you're working on Bible journaling page, or you're working on traveler's notebook page or spread or a card or a tag, whatever it is, they're all just different canvases, right? So if you are like, Hold on. If you're like Rhonda and you're Bible journaling and you're like, oh my gosh, or you want to start Bible journaling, or you want to start using a traveler's notebook, or you want to start using a different size canvas, this is our canvas, and then you've normally used in the past, don't be afraid, because those same exact principles apply to whatever you're doing. It's just a different size, right? So that's fun, Rhonda, that's how you found me. And I'm sure you're able to cross-translate some of the things that you do in Bible journaling into other projects, just like I can cross-translate things that I do in a scrapbook page or a mini book into my traveler's notebook. All right, so that guy will be very nice there. I always leave that space open on every one of these that I've done. August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. This is the ninth month I've done this. So I always leave that space blank. And that's just me. That is what I like to do because I like to add things right there. I think that really helps to kind of pull everything together across the, where is that? across the spread. So I like to have a little anchor over here in the right-hand corner. That's why I don't put a photo there. But you could do whatever you want. I always use 5 photos. You could put just one 4x6 photo. You could put 2 3x4 photos, or you could work on a collage. Like I mentioned, I use the Epson Creative Photo Print, Epson Creative Print, sorry. I use the Epson Creative Print, the Project Life app. You can do collages like this. There are a lot of different apps for your phone that are free that you can do that. I just remembered somebody asked a question a little while ago, and I thought it just popped into my head again, and then I just lost it again. Oh, I know. Okay, someone asked about, it was these. It was somebody asked about the stickers here, right? So I don't exactly remember the question, but I will answer it, what I used here. Those are the Bella Boulevard, that starts with an F. I think it starts with an F. Are they here? Where are they? Oh, heavens, I don't remember what they're called. Because here we go. This is Lael's sticker stash, some of Lael's sticker stash. So if you guys ever feel like you're alone, there we go, Florence. If you ever feel like you're alone when it comes to collecting product, you're not, because at least you and I are the same. Florence. So I used the Florence stickers for the title. And then everything else here is Reaching Out collection from Jen Hadfield. So that is from the 6x8 pad. That is the washi, and those are the stickers from that Reaching Out collection. And those, the Florence alphabet and Reaching Out, you can find on my website. Okay, back to this. Oh, the other ones. Oh my gosh. The smells. Oh, okay, smells. Smells. All of these were the Doodlebug My Type. My Type, with the exception, not My Tai, although maybe it's National Scrapbook Day. Maybe we should have a My Tai, right? My Type. And then these are from the Color Vibe Basics. So these are brights, but the black is from the Basics. Okay, so that's going there. Let's see what else we might want to do. Oh, I don't know. Look at that. I don't know. This guy might have just gotten kicked out because look, photos, that camera is everything. Oh, except this one is also everything. Look at those two. I mean, those are just the coolest things ever. If you know Vicky, this is Vicky. This whole collection is Vicky. I won't use that right there, I don't think. Although, gosh, I love that. Decisions, right? I don't know. Maybe that'll go there. As much as I love this, much as I love that, I think that might be the winner. All right, so let's look through some more of these things. I need to pick I know I will need some little sticker. If I use this, I'll need to use a little sticker up there. This is from the sticker book. So let's pick a color that we're going to use for our title. Use the green camera. I know that green camera is pretty awesome. Yes. Okay. Ijeoma. You're our friend from Nairobi, right? I believe so. Yes, in my store, My Type. All right, so I need to pick a color, and I think one of these colors is definitely, this is like the Color Vibe Brights from Simple Stories and the Color Study collection from Vicki Booten got together and had a baby. Oh, so this would be fun. That really bright pink would be fun. I think that is, ooh. Oh my gosh. Okay, look, you guys, seriously, that green, I mean, look at that. That green is perfect. The teal would be really cute. The pink would be not so much the yellow. Well, I always use yellow. I won't use the yellow. The orange, I mean, so much of this, the brights. All right. So what's it going to be, friends? What should we do? The pink? I don't know, the green. The green is kind of fun. What do you guys think? If we're using green camera, yeah, that's probably too much green. This, I don't know, maybe the teal. Teal? Nigeria. Okay, there we go. Green, look at, what are we thinking? Are we thinking green? Rhonda says green. Sarah says green. Lynn says green. Oh yeah, no, look at green, pink, teal. I think I'm going to go with the teal just to kind of break up that green a little bit. And I'll have lots of other colors that I'll be able to bring back in with some of the other stickers and embellishments. So this is April. When I use my letter stickers, 90% of the time, isn't it nice that I have so many options? Because literally it could be any one of those, except for the red. The red wouldn't really go, but we could make it work if we had to. When I'm working with my letter stickers, I almost always will use my steel ruler. So this is the 6-inch steel ruler that I have on my website. The reason I do that, hang on, littles. I, number one, want the stickers to be straight when I place them. Now, I have lines here, so getting them straight isn't, at this point, really the challenge. What the challenge is trying to make sure that they are centered-ish, right? Centered-ish left to right. So what I can do here is, I'm using the reverse grip tweezers. I am going to just set them right here, start setting the stickers onto the ruler. And I'm using just that line right there to line them up. So this is April. So I will pull off April. The reverse grip tweezers make it really easy, especially when you're trying to work with maybe smaller stickers. These are paper stickers as opposed to like cardstock stickers, so they're a little bit more delicate. But it's a lot easier for me to hang on to those and place them pretty precisely versus just trying to do it with my fingers. And that reverse grip comes in handy. All right, so April. And the L. Flip through the book and choose a random one. I know, right? Oh, So Tina said, teal will bring out that teal color in the washi, which she is absolutely right, because look at, there is a little bit of like watercolor effect on that washi. See how like right there, that looks a little bit of watercolor. Watercolor, so that it will for sure bring that up. Marissa, what do I need to get from Lael's store? Oh, goodness. I won't be able to weigh in on that one. All right, so now I have my ruler and 6-inch. I could do this with 12-inch. It's just a little bit harder to do because it's longer when I'm working in my traveler's notebook. But now I can just slide it to wherever I want it. Oh, maybe this month I want this to be right justified. Not really. Or left justified. I want it to be centered because I always like it to be centered. So let's 1, 2. Usually it looks like I start my title right below the second line on my insert. So that looks like it's pretty well centered, right? And it's good enough, right? Centered-ish. So they're adhered right now to the ruler. All I'm going to do is press down like that and then gently peel back that ruler. And there we go. They're all straight and they are centered where I want them. So once I get my month down, the next thing I do is I always write about last month. Now, I call it about last month because I always do this spread at the start of a new month. And if you are following along ever in my inserts, I always date everything. So these lists I did last week on 4/24. This one I'm doing on May 1st, and I will continue my May lists in here. So that's why I call it about last month. That's just semantics, really. If you wanted to call it about this month, you could. All right, so right up here, I write about last month. Now, I've had tons and tons and tons of requests for a stamp that says about last month. So my friend Andy and I are working on, I think some of you know, we're working on a new stamp set. This would be a Lael by Mail specific stamp set that will have lots of different things on it, but really lots of words that we use in our regular lists. like favorite and about last month and some numbers and different things like that. So, but right now I write it. And I've even had some requests for the stamp to be handwritten. Cleaned up a little bit, but handwritten. So we'll see if we end up with that. And I'm doing my outlining that I always do. It just kind of helps to frame the page a little bit. And it's not supposed to be straight, right? If I wanted it straight, I would have a ruler. Hi, Patty. Wanda, yes, this is Washi from Color Study. Yes, it's a lot easier for me though, you'll notice, to get it straight on this page because there's not as much going on this side as there is on this side. Everything's behind it. All right, if you're an inker, you could ink the edges of your pages. You could use, oh, I know, that just reminded me of something. I was gonna say you could use like your Distress Oxides, and we're gonna talk about inks when I'm swatching. If you are shopping today on, oh, hang on. If you're shopping today on scrapbook.com, they have, well, I don't know where my scrapbook.com handle is. Well, it doesn't matter, but they have ink blending tool. This is not their ink blending tool hammer, but it's basically the same. But they have domed foam inkers, right? Dome blending things. So, the reason I want to mention this right now, if they still have them for National Scrapbook Day, you get one of these free with purchase. So, when we're inking, when we're doing the ink swatching, I'll pull that back out and we'll kind of take a look at that. Terry, yes, be careful. You're driving, be careful. Miss Waddell, you found a You Do Ray Dunn mug? Oh my gosh, I had no idea. I'm gonna have to look for that. See, look it. Do you see? This is my coffee cup. All of the coffee cups in our house are all Ray Dunn. Those are the only coffee cups we have. And Nick hates them because there are a lot of them. There's, I don't know, maybe 50 of them. And he says, why do we possibly need so many coffee mugs? And then he likes to call it Ray and Dunn. And I'm like, Nick, it's not Ray and Dunn. And he knows. I'm like, it's not a country western band. But anyhow, yeah, so You Do You. I'm going to have to look for that. I stopped collecting a while ago, but I'm going to have to look for that. But while I have my coffee on, I'm going to have a quick sip. Hi, Jackie. Okay. Oh, and Tracy said they also have free 6x6 pads with purchase right now. So if you are getting something from scrapbook.com today, if you use one of the links that I shared, then I get a little bit of kickback from that. So I would love it if you would do that if you're shopping there anyway. You don't pay anymore, but okay, here we go. About last month. Now I start writing. This was where I could not find my list. So this is where now I am going to have to take country western band. I know that's like a totally, who even says that, country western band? I don't even think you call them country western. Maybe it's like country western dancing, which that will tie into this little photo right here. I'll tell you about that in a sec. All right, so guys, I have to find this list because I am not going to be able to make my list. Normally, I would sit down and I'm just making a run-on list of all the different things that happened in my life this month. Some things in my life, some things happening in my family, some things happening in our city or state or the world or what have you. So there's usually a lot of things, and off the top of my head, I know I can't come up with all the things. So just bear with me for a sec. Someone could sing, if you like to sing. Well, actually, anyone could sing because you guys aren't together. I won't sing. I will do you the favor of not singing because, yeah. But I did find it a mess. Remember when I couldn't find these? And then I finally did? Well, the reason I couldn't find them, because they're all over here in a pile on my desk. Okay, we're looking for the list. We're looking. Hang on. So while you guys are just hanging out, waiting for me to find my thing, pop in and tell me where you live. And then what else you're doing today. So whether you are all day participating in National Scrapbook Day, whether it's with Leo or whether it is with anyone, tell me what you're doing today besides hanging out with me. And if it's just hanging out with me, well, that is a-okay. So, oh my heavens, this is making me very angry. Because there's not that much in here, you guys. I mean, well, that's not true. There's a lot in here. Oh, here it is. Okay. I was looking for it by itself, but I found it. The reason I couldn't find it was because I wasn't looking for it in this. This is the second time that I have done this list. Okay, let's see. LA, Enumclaw. I love the name of that. That sounds so cool. There are some cities up in Washington State that, oh my goodness, are hard to pronounce their names, right? PA, Destin, Florida. Oh my gosh, Miss Waddell, you live, or maybe you're vacationing, but in a beautiful area. That's on my to visit list. East Sussex, UK. Ellen, very good. Wisconsin, working on taxes. Joanna, first day of empty nest. Oh my gosh, so exciting. San Diego. Oh, Joe, you're with Vicki and I back and forth. Bakersfield. I know where Bakersfield is, Pam. My dad, before he moved in, lived in Ridgecrest, which is in the middle of nowhere. You can fly into Bakersfield and then drive from there. Salem, Mass. Three Crab Chicks. Hi, Val. Poconos. Oh, I love that. The Poconos. Jackson, Michigan. Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, Abuja. I'm sure I didn't pronounce that correctly. Nigeria, Plymouth, Devon, UK. Canning spaghetti sauce. Kylie, I like spaghetti sauce. No, kidding. All right, Turlock, California. So isn't that cool, you guys, though? Look at literally people from everywhere, all over the world. San Francisco, beautiful city. Topanga, in between house showings, very good. It's always cool, though. I love it when you guys realize that, hey, maybe you live not very far from someone else that's part of our little world. Binghamton, New York. Desert Air, Washington. Fairfax, Virginia. New Jersey. Okay, Cathedral City. Signing papers for a new RV. Oh my gosh, that sounds like so much fun. Germany. Okay, guys, here we go. So, oh goodness, Karen. Nacogdoches. Yeah, that does not, I'm sure I totally butchered that one. I was born in Kingsville. I don't know if you know where that is. Okay, here we go. Peoria. Ariana, you live in Peoria, Arizona, don't you? All right, so, yes, this is actually the second time. I know. Mail jars without spaghetti sauce getting everywhere. Just kidding. Okay, this is actually second time I did this list because if any of you are joining from the Crop and Create Delivered event last weekend, I kind of did a really short kind of intro to Traveler's Notebooks. We talked about Traveler's Notebooks, and then I used some products that were part of their kit to create my About last month. So here we go. Incidentally, this color, bubblegum, matches Hello Color Steady so well. Again, looks like it was meant to go together. Okay, so here's my list that I will be referring to. Usually what I do right here now is I just start listing. And when I list, this is a run-on list. So I am just listing a bunch of different things that happened throughout the month. There's a couple ways that I do that though, because when it comes to the end of a month or start of a new month, so here we are at the beginning of May, how do I remember everything that happened? Because I'm getting old and it's harder and harder to remember things. So there are a couple of things that I do. Usually I have and I don't do this in a traveler's notebook. I just do it in like a regular, like spiral notebook. I just throughout the month keep notes, lists of things that happened. So it was April Fool's Day. There's a funny joke about that. Anyhow, a bunch of different things. So I make a list as the month goes on. I also take different photos throughout the month, right? Because I have my camera with me all the time, right? I have my phone with me all the time. So lots of times I'm just taking photos and those help me remember. My calendar, I look at my calendar to see what happened. And then a lot of times I will Google. So I'll Google either my city, my state, the US, my country, or the world for things that happened. And then I just kind of put things down. Now, there's a whole mismatch of things that are on my list. Some things are super basic, like, let's see. I had a hair appointment, right? I pretty much have a hair appointment every month, every 5 weeks, so that's not a big deal. I did a little shopping for a trip that we're going on in June. I did online shopping. So I am capturing in a lot of things that go on my list, things that I would never probably document otherwise, right? I would never document otherwise. But I document it here because that's the way that I decide that I want to do kind of this specific type of memory keeping for me. But you do you. Recovering kitchen chairs. That sounds fun. Recovering. Oh, that's Nancy twice. I'm like, wow, that's weird. 2 people are recovering kitchen chairs, you know. Okay, so I'm just going to start writing. Then I will come back and do a little bit of decorating over here. So the first thing on my list is April Fool's Day, right? Well, yes, that happens every April, right? But there's a funny thing with that. My dad called and said he was not moving. Now, if you have followed along with me, almost a year ago, my dad's wife passed away, and he lived in California. My dad has dementia. We did not know that he had dementia. If you have ever had experience with someone with dementia, if you don't see them frequently, it's easily undetectable. He hides it very well. I don't know that he hides it, but he hides it very well. His wife definitely was hiding it. And, you know, neither here nor there, but I'm sure they just didn't want their life disrupted. She passed away. We ended up moving my dad back to Utah, which is where I live. He lived by himself for a while, and then we got to realize more and more that it was probably not a good idea for him to live on his own. So in April, we moved him early April into an assisted living facility, which has been the best thing for him. On April Fool's, my dad called and said, so I've been thinking a lot about it. I'm not going to move. And I knew, I'm like, Dad, does not escape me the date on the calendar. I know it's April Fool's. So it was quite funny. But anyhow, that's the kind of thing. I mean, maybe I got some new flowers from Trader Joe's. That could go on my list. I decide what I want to put on here. You guys decide if you're doing this type of memory keeping, what you want to put on here. I would probably never do a scrapbook layout or include that in a mini book, but it's a memory that I want to capture here. It was a family member's birthday, so John's birthday. We moved my dad in. Part of that moving my dad in, we decorated, and I stayed overnight. That was something that they recommend, because when it's something very new like that, I stayed overnight. I haven't had a sleepover with my dad in probably, oh my gosh, probably when I was 16. My parents got divorced, I think, when I was 16, so probably it's been that long. But it was fun. All right, so now as I'm working through here, there's just a lot of writing. So it is really a lot of big run-on list. And I don't want this to be one big block of writing, one big block of black writing. So what I do is I like to intersperse some words using letter stickers. This is where all of the awesome colors that are in this Brights sticker book will really come in handy. Because remember I said, oh, I could use the green, or I could use the yellow, or the pink, or the orange. Well, now I can use these little guys, for some of my words. So this one, actually, my word I want to use here is dancing. And that pertains to this photo. This is not me. I do not have that color hair. I'm also not that thin. That is not Nick, my husband. We, though, in April, all of them in April, I guess, took some ballroom dancing classes. And it's more like country swing. They called it ballroom dancing, but it's really partner dancing. And we had an amazing time. So that's something I definitely want to remember. Now, I didn't have a picture of Nick and I there, but I did in one of the sessions take a picture of the instructors. And so that's part of the memory. And I will, anytime I see that, I'll probably remember, oh yeah, I remember that was so fun. And if not, I will just come back and read and, oh yeah, that was ballroom dancing. But I want the dancing part of that to pop out. Now, we were in a large ballroom, there were 6 couples. So it was pretty easy to be, you know, kind of distance, social distance. So I think I will use yellow. And when I do this, I always use the little square stickers for the word that I want to pop out. So dancing. D. These I don't use my, you know, I don't need to use my little ruler for because I know exactly where it needs to go, right? But again, where my little tweezers come in handy, because if I'm trying to pick up, like, let's just do this. If I'm trying to get the C off of here, then my fingers, you know, it's just easier. That's what I like. Dancing. Hide your gift list. Oh, that's been sitting there for a while. That's okay. You'll see. You'll see what they are. You'll see soon enough, huh? Poor Kelly. Uh-oh. Oh, Kelly. Kelly said on April Fool's Day, her brother put a for sale sign in her front yard. Caused all kinds of drama for the neighbors who tried to buy my house immediately. You saw the sign at the end of the day. But Kelly, on the bright side, you know, if you ever want to sell your house, that it's probably a good market for it. You have neighbors that would really like to have it. Oh my gosh, isn't that funny? The best, I think, April Fool's, prank that I ever saw, and this was making the rounds on the interwebs a couple of years ago. A woman had saved like every Amazon box that she had from the last year. And she had friends and neighbors and family save every one of their Amazon boxes. And so that morning, her husband went off to work or something. She took like 100 Amazon boxes and piled them up on the front porch, on the sidewalk, on the grass, on the driveway, so that when the husband came home, he was like, what in the, you know what? And it was April Fool's joke. So I always thought that was a really funny April Fool's joke. The only problem would be is where you store all the boxes, right? And really anymore, that's like what it looks like every day at my house between product coming in, orders going out. Yeah. Uh-oh. Shoot, guess what I did? This is why sometimes it's hard for Lael to talk and work. Clearly I wasn't paying attention because it says ballroom danced. I'm going to say ballroom dancing. It would have been okay, but I'm going to say ballroom dancing instead of danced. And wouldn't that be a good Amazon prank? I know. I thought that was hilarious. Somebody was super clever. Ballroom dancing. You guys, I think Sam, my son, he must have decided that he's going to ghost me, right? Oh, hi Marie, that's so fun. That is so fun. Now, are you in Vegas? Or are you traveling, like traveling? Ballroom dancing. All right, let's fix that. Let's fix it. Oopsie. All right, anyone else curious? Is there anyone else working on their About Last Month list with me? I know we have some people that are recovering chairs, making spaghetti sauce, which is fun. So my friend Vicki, she does Friday Night Lives, and a lot of times I will tune into her Friday Night Lives, and she does amazing mixed media things, which is not my thing. It scares the crap out of me, and I'm more of a like clean line person. But I love what she does, and so I love to watch. And so a lot of times I will just watch her and work on different things. A lot of times since they're Friday nights, I'm getting ready for Saturday. So I'll just like hang out and watch. So even if you guys are just hanging out doing whatever. Cynthia, you're new to About Me. Joanne's working on About Last Month. Arnetta's making notes for it. Robin's working on About Last Month and her kit. Finishing documenting December. Oh, that's what an awesome gift that'll be. Doing a list, catching up. Miss Waddell finished. 2 hours from home. Oh, that's not bad, Marie. That's not too much for traveling. Working on Getaway album. Ooh, class next week. Yes, okay. You know what, though? I better look at, hold on. Let me look at my list. Where did I just do with it? Oh, golly. Oh, here it is. It's just going to be one of those days, you guys. All right. So guess what? I need to give away 2 prizes. So I'm going to stop what I'm doing. I'm going to give away 2 prizes. And actually, I think what's kind of worked, you guys, is when Nick was here, we had times pre-selected, but that's a little bit harder for me to do just by myself. So I think I'm just going to do a little bit of a scroll up and I'll do prizes. So let's do prizes again. I have 2 more prizes. One prize is from, hold on, let's see. This is again from a donation from our friend PK, your friend PK. This is the person who wins this. This is the project kit. So this is obviously mine that's finished, but you will win the Getaway project kit. So it includes all the products that you need to put it together, along with the color step-by-step instructions and a 3-hour class with me. These are almost gone. I think there's maybe 4 or 5 left. So when these are gone, these are gone. All right. So the person that will win this, courtesy donated by PK, which again, thank you so much. This is going to, not the finished one, but the kit, is going to Carolyn Phillips. Huh, that was funny. And you guys, when I do this, literally, I'm just scrolling up and I don't even look. I just stick my finger, and that was Carolyn Phillips, which interestingly enough, Carolyn's emojis were the crossed fingers. So Carolyn wins that. Carolyn, shoot me an email, lailbymail@gmail.com. I'm writing your name down though. So Getaway is Carolyn Phillips. Congratulations. All right, next one. This hit me this morning, and I don't know why I've never done this. I don't know why I have never done this. It's not, this is not part of it. We'll just pretend that that's not in there. With my bi-monthly Traveler's Notebook kits that I do every month, I always have 2 because I have my sample and then I have the one that we make in class. So what I thought was, well, why don't I just give this one away? This is, including the Traveler's Notebook cover, this is the May portion of the Spring-Summer Traveler's Notebook kit. So it's already done. You have nothing. I mean, really, you're just, I'm mailing you this and there you go. So you would be all ready for May. And this doesn't necessarily have to be May. You could use this for whenever you wanted or whatever you wanted. So these kits are still available. You'll find them on my website at lailbymail.com, and it is May and June. But I think I'm going to start doing this a lot now because you guys, I always have this. Now, normally I just take all the things out and then I'll reuse the Traveler's Notebook for something else. But I think I may be onto something here in terms of this might be a fun little giveaway to do every month. All right, so this one is going to go to, scrolling up, I'm going to go way up. That one is Pretty Paper Obsession. Okay, that one is Pretty Paper Obsession. So Pretty Paper Obsession, this is you. When I tell you guys to email me, I need your address. So the TN is Pretty Paper Obsession. Okay, now back to the work. You guys are like, holy Hannah. Oh my gosh, Mia. Yes, I've been doing Saturdays now for, I mean, originally I was only going to do 2, and that was March, I think March 21st was of 2020 was the very first one. I was only going to do 2, and then it just blossomed, and this is now the thing. Well, it's the thing for me because I love what we do and I love being here and I love hanging out with you guys. And this is when I get my personal crafting time in. So yes, we're going to continue to do Saturdays. It'll get a little dicey when I start traveling again, so we'll just have to figure that out. But yes, plan is to continue. Okay. Okay, I missed something. I know I missed some questions. Stickers or heart icons up by the blender. The blender. Oh, I'm like the blender. I don't have a blender in here, although maybe I should. It might be cocktail time at some point, right? The blender, the ink blending tool. Those are Vicky's puffy stickers and from Color Study. And those are, yep, all that stuff is on my website. Oh, yay, you screamed and your dog came in to check. Okay, all right, let's keep going, friends, because you know, Lael, it could be 5 o'clock and I'm still like writing my last things on this list, but that won't happen. I'll make us keep going. All right, ballroom dancing. Yes, that was so fun. We had so much fun doing that. I loved it. And it really works for any kind of partner dancing, any kind of music. It was really cool because we'd have country western and then he'd play Michael Jackson and then all different kinds of music. So, all right. Terry, was it hard to find? Were you having a hard time? Oh, I know. What if we had stopped at 2? I know. Well, I had no idea. I mean, that was the beginning of COVID, and I thought, oh my gosh, what can I do? We were all reeling, back in March of 2020. And I thought, I'm going to record a class about traveler's notebooks, and I'm going to throw it out there. And because I think that, I know a lot about traveler's notebooks, and that might help to get some, people's minds off things. And then here we are, 60 weeks or more later. Oh, what am I doing? I just put my list away. That's not good. Okay, so ballroom dancing. Yes. That was there. And we did 4 lessons. This always happens. Okay. I started spelling lessons and I forgot an S. So it's Leson. This is where I grab my little magical white gel pen. And I just color right over those letters where I did that. I need to let that dry and then I can come back in and just write right over it. That usually, literally, you guys, happens every time. I was trying to see if there was one. I know there's one in March that I haven't fixed yet, but I don't want to fix it. I could actually probably just show you guys. Let's see. No, not there. It was on a past list. Anyhow, I'll just come in and write over that once it's dry and then you don't even see it. All right. So then I did my garden party traveler's notebook class. Some of you were probably there for that one when I hit my head so hard I was spinning and felt like I had a concussion. I hit it. I bent down to pick something up and one of my cabinets was open and I hit my head on the corner and oh my gosh, I was not right. That was weird. But yes, I did my garden party travelers. I had the biggest goose egg. Plus hitting my head. So you can see the things that are on my list, they're just whatever, right? Whatever things. And again, things that I probably would not document otherwise, but they're getting documented here. It's kind of like a time capsule. We talk about that word a lot when we're doing our listing. It's kind of like a time capsule and how cool it would be to have a list like this of a family member, my mom or my grandma or something like that, because what happened in their month back then would be way different than what happened in my month. Or if I had even done this, like when my kids were babies, holy cow, about last month would be pretty much, well, totally different than this, right? So my dad had a dentist appointment that I took him to. He does not drive. Well, not anymore. We took the car away. We actually, Nick and I, first dinner out in about a year. First dinner eating out, which was weird, right? Was weird. And that is not necessarily a Utah thing. It's just, that's what I didn't really feel comfortable up until that point. I did I think I need another sticker here, another word. So, oh, I know what I'll do. Okay, next one. Let's do a pink here. The other thing I need to do, and I won't do this other than I will just pop this one down. These stickers are larger than a line, so I really need to remember to make them cross 2 lines. So I will make them cross 2 lines here. I will move all those down later. We went with our friends for a long weekend to their cabin at Priest Lake. Some of you, anyone from Washington State in the Spokane area knows Priest Lake. An amazingly beautiful lake. Ooh, okay, here's the deal. Priest Lake won't fit. I know that's not going to fit, and I don't want to do part here and part here because that would be weird, at least for me. So I will write Priest, and then I will use my letter stickers for lake, because I would like lake to be the word that is kind of highlighted as opposed to priest, because priest would be like, wait a minute, what? What is that? So using these letter stickers does 2 things, right? In my list, it helps to break up all the black with color, but then it also helps to draw your eye down the list, and then also draw attention to specific things. Priest Lake. Diane, it is like heaven on earth, isn't it? I mean, it is seriously. Those of you that maybe know the area, Priest Lake is actually in Idaho, northern Idaho, north of Coeur d'Alene. That's probably the more well-known lake in the area. It's about 20 miles south of the Canadian border. So really, really north. I went down really north. Yes, Kyla, it's gorgeous. Okay, so Priest Lake with the Becks. I also taught at the happiest box on earth virtual retreat. Now, normally what would happen, you guys, I would probably get to about here and be like, okay, I'm going to stop on my list. I'll come finish my list later. Let's go decorate a little bit more. But I'm not going to do that here, because today is, part of what today is a catch-up day, right? So that is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to keep going and not stop. Happiest box on earth virtual retreat, but I will try to go faster. I had a hair appointment. Oh, yes, big one. Sam had his first COVID vaccination. Here in Utah, it is totally open, 16 and older. And I'm thinking what's happening is, well, I know what's happening in Utah. We're getting to the point where the people that don't want to have a vaccine, and everybody has their own, you do you, I always say, but people that don't want to have a vaccine aren't going to get them. So they're starting to, I think, get down towards the end where, we're not sure what's going to happen, right? When, it could be that we're almost done. Well, I shouldn't say almost done. I don't know in Utah, but with vaccines. My brother-in-law's birthday. We did drinks, and this is another spot for another color. I think orange will be a good one there. Marsha, welcome. So you haven't been back in a while. I mean, you haven't been here in a while. Well, I'm glad that you're here with us. Jessica, yes, that was a super fun retreat. That retreat, the Happiest Box on Earth virtual retreat, was a retreat put on by my friend Kim. who has a scrapbook store in Colorado called Memories Unlimited. This was a virtual retreat, but it was a Disney themed retreat. So I taught a Disney Traveler's Notebook kit. Dessert, drinks and dessert. We had drinks and dessert with some neighbors. We have a extremely social neighborhood. It's new. Let's see, we've been here 3 years. It's new development. There were 4 of us that moved in within the same week, and we were the first 4 in the neighborhood. And now I think when it's built out, there'll be about 160 homes. So we normally, before COVID, had been extremely social with all of our neighbors, and we would, hold on, dessert, yeah, okay. We would get together all of the time, like once a week, once every other week. Well, we had not done that in a year. So that was nice. We had kind of our like original, it was really the original neighbors that kind of started, and we had drinks and dessert at someone's house. So it was kind of fun. That was a big deal, drinks and dessert. That was kind of a finally thing. Let's see what else I'm doing shopping online we are going on a trip in June. It is a tropical trip. So I am doing some online shopping for that because swimsuits. And swimsuit shopping is probably, if we did a list of things I hate, and actually we did, and I should have added that, trying on swimsuits is awful, awful, awful. I hate it. Especially when it's this time of year when you're pasty white. Anyhow, so yes, online shopping for that. A little bit of exercise. Not only getting a little exercise in, that's also a neighbor thing, walking with neighbors. Not only do we have a very social neighborhood, we also have a very active neighborhood. This day, whatever day that was, I had almost 18,000 steps. So that was probably a 6 mile. I just did another 6 mile on Thursday. Now, if I would do that every day, it'd be really good, but it's few and far between. So have to, it doesn't have to be few and far between. It happens every day. Well, Monday through Friday, neighbors do that walk. But Lael works, and Lael is not very good at balancing her work life. And so more work, less life. So I need to do that more. Is this the first list? Scrappy Miss, this is the first list, yes. So we're not just doing listing today. We are doing all kinds of things. We are chatting a lot. We're doing lots of giveaways. We're listing. People are asking kind of some generic questions. So this will be our first list. After this, we will be moving to, I'll be showing how I recover one of my inserts once I'm done with it. And we'll talk a lot about that and why I do that. Oh yes. Next one. New. Progressive glasses. So I am going to now take the green and I will do glasses in green. I talked about that last week. I switched about an hour in today. So I do not have my progressives on right now. But new progressive glasses, that's what that photo is. I did not get 5 pair. That is Warby Parker, where you can go online and pick up to 5 different frame styles, and they send you the frame styles and you try them on, and then you decide which ones you want. You send them all back, and then they put this prescription in one and then send them back to you. So the progressives were a long time coming. I really needed to do them for a long time, but they're taking some getting used to. I need to really put a conscious effort into wearing them. Walking with them though, I will fall down and go boom. I will fall down and go boom. So I'll have to practice that somehow. Okie dokies. Lauren, you don't tan. I saw a really weird thing on Instagram the other day. Not weird. You know how you can take ink and like wet ink, and you can flick it and it'll make little flicks on your page, and it looks kind of cool. They look like ink spots. Well, I saw someone doing that with a really dark brown makeup on a model's face to make freckles. It was very interesting. Yeah. Brandy, I have been working with Traveler's Notebooks, I want to say probably about 6 years. I started doing them, oh my gosh, I had bought them, the inserts, and didn't even know what they were and had been using them. And then I started doing something, a couple of us have talked about this before, something called Lister's Got a List with Corey, the Reset Girl. And really that's where I just kind of fell into the inserts that I already had and then putting the cover around them. And yeah, but they are my thing. It's just my size and the refillable nature, and it lets me jump around a lot in different products and different styles and different topics, and it's what I like. All right, another big one. My friend Vicky's 50th birthday. That was last Sunday. So Vicky Booten's 50th birthday. If you don't know Vicky, she is an amazing, amazing human. I taught at Crop and Create Delivered. Lunch and Learn. We had dinner with Dad and Sam. INSD prep. Lots of kidding for that. All right, so I'm getting to the end, right? We had pizza with friends. This is the big one. Well, this tells you how exciting Lael's Word is. Handmaid's Tale. Handmaid's Tale. Season 4. Okay, very, Nick and I love that, which is kind of weird because it's kind of deep and dark show, but season 4 was released just the other day. All right, so there we go. There's my list. Look at how that came together with all of those colors, and that worked so well. But the other one that we were thinking, and I won't go back to this, but the flower that we were looking at would also work like that one, right? So if you're not into cameras, look at just so pretty. This collection, Color Study, it will be probably for a long time one of my favorites. But here's something interesting, and because I already did this list, and I did it for an event I taught at last weekend, but look how different. Same exact thing, right? Same exact photo, and I'm capturing the same exact thing, but the two lists can look totally different based on what product to use with them. Yeah. Okay. Yes, Handmaid's Tale in Toronto, and I think a couple of you have said that it's near you, filmed near you. Brandy asked, how do I document my trips? Do I do them in notebooks or scrapbook them? Both. It really depends on what I'm doing. If it's a bigger trip, I would probably do it, or I have, in something like this, where I put the whole trip in here. If it's a smaller trip, I do something like this. And this is actually one of the things that I will come back to this afternoon. Documenting, this was a trip that Nick and I took to Zion National Park. So I will be documenting that. And when I do that, and this will be a great example. This was definitely a much smaller trip. Nick and I in the fall went to Bryce Canyon. So this is a travel themed for me, traveler's notebook, where I just document different trips, but I take just a couple of pages. So I did, let's see, 1 spread, 2 spread, 3 spread, 4 spread, 5 spreads. So that is what I will do. I'll work on a little bit later this afternoon for our trip to Zion National Park. In that case, in a traveler's notebook, as opposed to a scrapbook or mini book. Orphan Black. I have not seen Orphan Black. Oh, goodness. Karen, you've had a week, it sounds like, huh? Orphan Black, though. Maybe I need to add that to my list, yeah? Jen, filmed just down the street from you. I know, Karen, I hope that your week gets better, friend. Oh, Colleen, I actually have been to Toronto. I've been in Toronto a couple times. I was just in Toronto last February. So February of 2020 up to teach at Crop and Create. And then the whole world shut down after that, right? All right, so let's just wrap this guy up. So I will put this here. What else are we going to do around here? I know I need some smaller things. So let's look at some of these smaller stickers. Real life, right? That it's definitely real life. This is real life. Although I liked the flowers so much, so that would be a great way to incorporate the flower, right? Let's do that. We'll put that right there. Woo! Love that. Just this collection, you guys, I tell you, it's a good one. Uh-oh. Really, I shouldn't have put that down first. Let's tuck this back under there. And I talk about this before too. Vicky's like us. Vicky's a crafter. She's a scrapbooker. She gets it. She gets that we need larger things and smaller things and things to layer and word strips and little accent blobs and little accent paint splatters, titles. Some of the pieces in her things are huge, which is great. I mean, this could totally work in a traveler's notebook. Something like this is great for a layout. So I think the reason why we, people, love Vicky's collection so much is because she gets it. She's one of us. And this is a little kind of behind the scenes, not everybody that has a scrapbook collection is actually a crafter. So that's why sometimes things, you're like, gosh, I wish they would do this, or why don't they do this, or if they only did this differently. It's sometimes if they're not a crafter, then maybe that's why. This little iridescent, all right, if this guy's gonna go, it can go over here, but it can't go over here because it's like too jammed in there. It's going to get in the way between April and about. So I think that will be a nice little spot for it right there. All of the color. This collection works really well for this time of year, April, May, June, July, but really it works for any time of year because it's just super bright and fun and colorful. Let's see, what else? Oh, I saw somebody ask a little bit ago about Garden Party. Garden Party is still not back in stock, and it's not that it's just Lael that doesn't have it. It is out of stock with the manufacturer. So, if you can find it, good for you. I have it on order, but it's not, it's not, nope, I like that there. It is still on back order. It's coming again. They have reordered it, but they reorder from China, and then it just takes a while to come back in. All right, what else do we want here, guys? Usually I have some kind of something up here. So maybe, what if we used one of these guys? Maybe the orange one. I could go there because we really don't need to see the top of the box. It's right. So I know I had this little guy out, but I won't use this guy because this is from, these stickers that I'm using, the smaller sheets are from the sticker book. These larger one are the stickers. Now we need a little word to go right there. So, you know me and my word strips. How about reflect? That works, right? Because it's kind of a reflection of the month. Reflect works well there. And then I think we might use one of these little guys. Maybe this pink heart to go right there. All right, something over here. So maybe one of these word strips. Snapshot, well, that works, right? This is a snapshot of the month. This is a snapshot of the month. And then the camera also works as a snapshot. So let's see what this is going to look like there. Carla. Oh my gosh, Carla, I think. Your second dose. So what was your first dose? What did you have? Moderna or Pfizer? That is just going to tuck right under there. Moderna or Pfizer? I know, Karen, right. So you know what? And I jump all over the place, right? So we saw, as far as what I like, I jump all over. So this, totally drawn to this, right? Which is super soft pastels, but then totally drawn to this. That's the thing I think that's really fun about working in a format like this. You just turn the page. So whatever's next is next, and things don't have to really match or coordinate. All right, guys, I think that's good. Normally I do something a little over here, but I think it's okay. Sometimes I date these, sometimes I don't. So I will write May 1st, 2021 right there. All right, there we go. There is our about lesson. Okay, Moderna. All right, I don't know much about Moderna. Although I had Pfizer, Sam had Moderna. So, but he's only had his first. So I don't know much about, it's so weird though. It really seems to vary person by person. So my mom had Pfizer, was like flat on her back for a couple days after the second dose. And she's young, she's 74, I think. My dad had Pfizer, totally fine, both shots, no worries at all. I had Pfizer, I was great. The only thing that I noticed was after my second one, the afternoon of the second day, I just got kind of run down. But I also had been doing a lot that day, so Nick had Pfizer, was fine with both. So what's really interesting though, good friends of ours that live outside of Denver, they both had Johnson & Johnson back in, I want to say February. They both have COVID right now, both of them. Well, of course, both of them. I mean, they're husband and wife, so chances are. But one of those really weird breakthrough cases that they say don't happen very often. And they both, he got hit really hard with it. She was sick, but not a ton. More manageable. Okay. So now I'm just putting my things away because we're ready to move on to our next thing, and things have to be put away because if they're not put away, then things will get crazy. So bear with me a sec while I put all these things away. Now, while I'm putting these things away, let me just talk about something really quick. Once I have really, really, really worked through this particular collection, so once I've really worked through the color study collection, I will start to probably break it apart. But when I am working on a collection and it's new, and I keep all of the things together, because generally I want to work with all of the things together. But once I start to work through everything and it starts to get a lot more pared down, then I would split it apart. So I might take all the flowers out and put them in one of these little plastic pouches that has flowers. Or I'd for sure take the washi out. If I still have cameras, I would take the cameras out and put it with die cuts with cameras so that things are a little bit more themed as opposed to collection based, if that makes sense. And that's how I do it. Oh, Jen, your dad's in the hospital with COVID. I am so sorry. You're right. They're not foolproof, right? And here's the thing. We know that even like with the flu vaccine, people still get the flu. And really, this is all just, this whole thing is new. They don't really know how things will work, if they will be effective, if they won't be effective. Some people don't want to get it, which I totally understand. because there are so many unknowns. Right. So that's what we just hope that whatever it is, that people don't die, right? That's the goal. Even if with the vaccination people get sick, then, that just people don't die. It keeps them out of the hospital. All right. So now what I want to talk about, we are switching gears for a little bit, guys. Let me just look at my rough schedule. Of course I'm behind, but that's okay. So for this one, what I'm going to do, as you start to get towards the end of an insert, really the end of an insert, this starts to happen. Do you see what just happened? That page fell out. And that is kind of unavoidable. Sometimes it depends on the type of insert that you're using. I have inserts that I will never use again, and I will show you why. And this is just kind of a little education because not all inserts are created equal. When someone asked earlier how long I've been using traveler's notebooks, this is what I started. This is when I started. These were the inserts that I had. These inserts are from Moleskine. They're the Cahiers. They are the exact same size as the inserts that I use, standard wide. And I had just bought the inserts at, I don't know, Target or something, or when I was traveling at the airport and thought, oh, those would be good notebooks to have. And so this is what I started using with when I started doing the Lister's Got a List that I mentioned with the Reset Girl, Corey. This was back in 2015. So you know what? Actually, this was April of 2015. So it has been 6 years. And this insert was great. However, and this is where we talk about not all inserts are created equally. Pages are super thin, super, super thin. So what I found I had to start doing, I started on some of them having to, like if I would write directly on this one, I didn't have a choice. I had to put paper here and do my list on top of it because the ghosting and the shadowing was so bad, even just from writing on it. But what started happening, these are stitched. So let me these are stitched. Don't mind what's happening at the end. They're stitched. So you don't have the pages falling out like sometimes we'll see in the ones that I use. However, and I didn't know this, I didn't realize this until probably a year ago. At the back of this insert, the pages are perforated. So look what's happened. All these perforated pages have totally fallen out. And then this is just going to stay here. These will just stay this way because this is my project that I was working through, Lister's Got a List. But most of the time what happens, the more that you add, right, it's just putting strain on. However, this is bound. So the inserts that I use, these are Carpe Diem inserts, they are stapled. And what's going to happen is as we work on them, it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, even if all I'm doing is writing in there, even if I have no stickers or anything, if all I'm doing is writing, eventually the pages are probably going to pop out of the staples. And there's really nothing you can do about that if you have an insert that is made this way. But what I do when I am done working in the insert, and I don't do this until the very end, when I'm done working in the insert, I take off the cover. So here's one of my inserts. It was just like this. Okay, it was just like this. I took off the cover. I made a new cover for it out of a piece of scrapbook paper. And then I stitch it back together. And I am hand stitching. I'm not machine stitching because this would be a lot to machine stitch, right? I don't even know how you could machine stitch this. But here's the center. Here's where you see my stitches. So that's what I thought I would do right now with this insert. That's what I'm going to do because I need to do this insert. And now we're just kind of hanging out and playing and talking about different things. Incidentally, these two, I have flipped through videos that I did way back. Oh my gosh. So please don't judge. The I've learned a little bit since filming videos over the last couple of years, but I filmed them 6 years ago. But I have flipped through videos of both of these inserts. So there's just a ton of different lists if you want to take a look. They're the very bottom in the description of the video. I have links to those. All right. So the way that I'm going to do that, I am using my, where is it? It's in here. My paper piercer, this guy. So it's just a paper piercer. Oops, let me pull it down so you can see it because you can't see the blade. It's a paper piercer. This would be similar to an awl, an AWL. There are bookbinding kits out there that include awls, they include needles, they include wax thread or wax string, whatever it is. But I don't have one of those kits. This is just what I use. I just take the tools that I have and I work. So I'm using a paper piercer. So there's that. And then I am using some cotton string. I actually have a video where I think I'm going to say it was video 7. So it was a long, well, last year, probably in beginning of May, and I will link to it in the description here, but where I make my own inserts. So where I went through the process of making my own inserts, and I show you kind of a number of different ways to make them, and then I do the same thing where I have some of these tools linked. So I will come back and link these tools in this video as well. Paper piercer, cotton string, and then a needle. So my needle is a blunt, right? It is a blunt. It's pretty thick, right? That's pretty thick because I need it to go through. It's going to have to go through. I'll punch the holes with my paper piercer, but then I need this to go through all of those different pages. Okay, so let me just cut this. This is, like I mentioned, it's cotton string, but it's kind of softer. This is a single strand. It's not a double, right? I don't need a double. So if you go back to home ec or whatever, when I learned to sew in high school or middle school, my little, and I'm not like this is not a video. This is not a video for sewers. So I'm sure I'm not using any of the right terminology, but that's my little strand. That's not a double knot where those two pieces of string are knotted together. All right. So there's that. Now I need to make my cover. So I just grabbed a piece of scrapbook paper. This is a 12 by 12 piece of scrapbook paper. Twine, yep, you could use twine. Really, you could use anything. You could, I wouldn't use regular thread though, because regular thread is way too thin and it would just rip right through the pages. You'd be worse off. All right, so I'm going to use this piece of scrapbook paper. And let me get my trimmer. So when we do this, we know that my insert is 8.25 inches tall by 5 inches wide. That's the size insert that I use. It is a standard wide. Really quick, while you see this, see how dirty that is? This is just from working, right? It's just from working. There's probably my cuticle oil on there from my fingers. It's dirt from my work surface. This is one of the reasons why you want to wait to do this until the very end. Because if I do my slip cover or my cover at the beginning, then all that stuff is going to get on my cover. Really, I want to wait until I'm entirely done working through this and then come in and do this. Embroidery floss, quilter's thread, perfect. Yep, those would use too. Button thread, I don't know what button thread is, so that would probably, I'm sure that would work. Okay, let's see. 8.25 wide by 5, it's 8.25 inches tall by 5 inches wide. That is the size of a standard wide insert. 8.25 by 5. So I know that my paper needs to be roughly 8.25, and I would think it would need to be roughly 10, because in order for it to be on the cover, that would be 5 and 5, but I need to make it wider than 10. because 10 would basically be the measurement from this edge to this edge. But I need it to cover, right? So you see, let's see if you can see this. Let me keep tilting it. All right. Do you see right here? This is the cover. These are the pages. So I want the cover to extend beyond all of the pages. Once it closes, all those pages are going to kind of start to pooch out a little bit, right? Let's not talk about pooching out because that reminds me of pooching out stomachs. Yeah, that's my least favorite thing about myself. Pooching out stomach. Anyhow, so we need our cover to be bigger than 10. I think if we do that, let's try 11. I don't remember what I did that at. So there's really no direction to this paper, so I don't need to worry about that. I will start at 11, and then we'll see what happens. Now, as far as height goes, so this is going to be my width, right? This will be the width, and it will go around. My height, though, this is a 12 by 12 piece of paper, so I don't want it to be 12. My insert is 8 inches tall. So I bet if I went to, let's try 8.5 and see what we get. So, okay, hold on. There's my 11, so this needs to be 8.5. I think that's 8.5 is probably going to be too long, but we'll see. So there we have that. Here is what I am slip covering. Let's get this out of the way for a sec. We may need to bring that back in to trim it just a little bit more. All right, so I'm folding in half or scoring down the center. Open that back up. I fold like that. You'll notice how I folded the outside in. So this is the outside. I folded the outside in. When you're working with pattern paper, when you fold it, sometimes you are going to have breakage in the fibers. So when the fibers break, it reveals the center of the paper, which is a white core, right? So if you fold outside in, your breakage is generally going to occur right here on the fold. You can, well, you probably won't be able to see that, but there's already even a little bit of that there. This is the mountainside. So we think of a mountain versus a valley. The mountainside, you're generally going to see the breakage on the mountainside of a fold. So if I fold outside in, now my breakage is occurring on the mountainside of the fold, which was this part. All right. Now, if I do this, oh yeah, that's way too long. So it needs to probably just be 8.25, maybe a little bit taller than 8.25. Just a little bit more. All right. So as this slides in here. So, I mean, it is, let's see if you can see that. Let me just kind of move this a little bit. So you can see that this extends beyond, but it probably extends a little bit too much beyond. If it extends too much beyond, this is probably just going to end up bending, and I don't want it to do that. So I probably need another 1/8 of an inch off of both sides. So actually, I could just do it this way, right? 1/8 of an inch, which would give me a quarter. Let's do a little bit less than a quarter. I can always take away, right? I can never add. Adding would be, I'd have to start all over again. So now let's see how that is. So that's probably going to be pretty good. All right. That's probably pretty good. This is crepe paper. This is Maggie Holmes. This was from the Sunny Days collection, the summer collection from a couple of years ago. All right, let's see. So Create and Play with Renee asked, she has a bunch of inserts that are 8.25 by 4.25. Those are standard. So those are standard size. This one is standard wide. Standard is 8.25. It's about 4.33. I'm just going to grab one. Hang on. Just for reference. Let me see. Is that here? Yeah. No. Okay. Okay, hang on. I just want to do a side-by-side so you can see the difference in the two sizes. I just have to find one. Oh, now things are all over the floor. All right, so disregard the fact that this one is all decorated. But here is a standard wide. Here is the standard. So don't mind these little tabs. It's about 3/4 of an inch. Standard is about 3/4 of an inch less wide than a standard wide. Nothing wrong, it's personal preference. I prefer a standard wide because if I'm working on a spread, that gives me an extra 1.5 inches across the spread. But yeah, those are standard wide. Why do I take the cover off? Why do I take the cover off? I don't know. Why did I take the cover off before? Just probably so I didn't have a craft thing there. Karen, you could put paper. So what Karen's saying is, so just put paper on the front and the back without wrapping it. The only thing though, is if you have pages that are falling out, that's really why I do all this. If you have pages that are falling out on the inside, oh, that's the one I already wrapped. That's not, oh heavens, you guys. Hello. If you have pages falling out, that's really why I do this. Otherwise, I would just do a slip cover, right? And this I do a lot. Otherwise, I would just do a slip cover like this. So here is my insert. I have just taken a piece of 12 by 12 pattern paper, cut it down, and then it is just slip covered over that cover. So I can change this out whenever I want. But in this case, I'm not worried in that case. I'm just covering it for decorative purposes. I'm not worried about those pages falling out. But as the pages start, oops, that is someone's prize. I better put that back. Hang on. Let me just get these back in here. Terry, yes. So that's what we were talking about. The Carpe Diem ones, these are standard wide. The Webster's inserts, the Doodlebug inserts, pretty much Carpe Diem is like the only scrapbookish manufacturer that makes standard wide. Webster's, Doodlebug, Echo Park, all of their inserts are standard. American Crafts, their inserts are standard. And there's no right or wrong, and you can mix and match. Some of the inserts in your traveler's notebook could be standard, some could be standard wide. So the reason, and this may help, the reason why I take the cover off, well, first of all, I need to anyway take the staples out, right? Because I'm not going to use the staples, and I don't want to use that. I'm not going to use the staples anymore. I need a staple remover is what I need. I'm not going to use the staples anymore to hold it together because it's too full and my pages are coming out of the staples. My friend, Carrie Bradford, told me last year when I started doing these videos, and she caught one of them and I was doing this, she said, oh, well, when I am working in my traveler's notebooks, when I get a brand new traveler's notebook insert, I just really need a staple remover. Note to self, add staple remover to craft room tools. Ouch. Oh, when she starts, she takes the staples out. She just takes the staples out at the very beginning and then works on her pages outside of the staples. Gosh dang it. I won't go grab a staple remover. I don't know, actually, I might need to go grab one. Because, yeah, let me go grab, hold on. Hang on. So I have some that are 8.5 by 11. So Renee, I'm not sure what your 8.5 by 11 is. But there's all different, right? All different notebooks. Some are composition size. There's A6, B6, A5, all different sizes. Ugh, my heavens, you guys. Struggle bus. Okay, I need to go grab a staple remover, so bear with me for a sec. Go from the other side. Which side? Like this side. If I go from this side, though, I'm worried it will, maybe it's okay. Oh, that's a lot easier. Paper piercer to lift the staple up. That, look at you guys are so good. Use my tweezers. I know, I am trying to use the tweezers. Yeah. All right, there we go. Now, I'm still a little bit stuck in there. All right, you guys, this is not pretty. So just do as I say, not as I do, because this was not, if I had my staple remover, if I had had it from the onset or used one of those other suggestions, it would have been a lot easier. All right. I'm deconstructing. Oh, I could use the end of my tweezers to just pull it right out. Whoopsie. Okay, so where did that go? Get that staple out of here. All right, so now, I mean, I suppose I could just use this cover again and sew everything back together. However, I don't want to do that because I want it to be decorative. Now, where did these guys go? These they came out of the center. So they're right here, like this, and like that. Okay, there we go. So now it's deconstructed, right? All of these are called signatures. So each one of these is called a signature. And they are now all separated. They're no longer hooked together. So what I need to do is I need to make my holes. Does sewing on a new cover make the insert last longer? So here's the thing. If you were to do that this is just Lael, this is my opinion. If you were to do that right here, as you work, and you start adding things and adding things and adding things, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, right? So I think what would happen is if you did this at the very beginning, so if you took the entire thing apart and put a new bigger cover on and stitched, I think as your pages are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, your stitches are going to start to strain. Like on Thanksgiving, when the stitches on your pants are straining because you've eaten too much, right? So I don't really know, I guess, what would happen, but I think that you might start to maybe see the same kind of issue occurring where some of your pages are going to come right out of those stitches because you're constantly not only working and adding, but it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. There's a lot of movement that's happening. So that's why I wait until I am all the way done and then I do it because I'm done working. It's as bad as it's going to get. No more food for it on Thanksgiving. And then I'm not really working with it much anymore, right? It's going to go on a shelf or go in a traveler's notebook. All right. So now I need, if you have a catalog, if you have a old phone book, if you have an old book, if you have a magazine, we need something that we can easily get our needle through. In this, it'll make sense in a second. So I need to come in here. I'm just opening up to the center of this catalog because the center of this catalog will make for a nice spot for me to be able to come in, and if I poke a little bit into this catalog, it's okay. It's not going to hurt anything. So let's get this. Let's get these. Let's go around the edge. Oh, I know what I want to do though. Before I do this, I want to round the corners. It's going to be a lot easier to round the corners before I do this than after. All right. When it comes to the paper that you're picking, Not all scrapbook paper is created equal, right? So some is really, really, really thin. You probably want to use a piece that has a little bit more substance to it, as opposed to like a really thin piece, because otherwise it's just not going to work as well. All right. And I don't know how to, Pam, so I don't think there is a way. If you're adding things, I don't think there's a way to get around some of your pages coming out of the staples. If that is something that you're like, oh no, I can't use Traveler's Notebooks because of that, I think Citrus Twist, is it? Citrus Twist? I think they make a little tiny mini book that is the shape of a Traveler's Notebook. That has rings, and then it has pocket pages. So the interior pages for your pocket pages are about this size. So you could still kind of get the same size of a Traveler's Notebook, but have it be a little bit more in a mini book, if that makes sense. All right, so now I want to come to the center. My center is right here. Of course it is. It's my least favorite list of all time. I hated the way it turned out, but that's okay. This was Super Bowl snacks, just because the red and black and the football and just not me, but that's okay. All right, so I need to decide how close I want my stitches and how many stitches that I want to do. On this guy, I did, I don't know, maybe about 3/4 of an inch between stitches. So 1, 2, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I did 9 stitches. Yeah, oh, there we go. The Life Created album. Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, they're beautiful. But it's, it's different. It's different than a Traveler's Notebook. It's not the notebook with the refillable, oh, you know what I'm saying. All right. So I'll put this right here and my paper piercer. So why I'm in the center of this catalog is because I need to have some give. I think we'll start about right here. Now with this one, I have lines. So I could use the lines as a guide on where I'm poking. So I've poked through. Let me show you this end. See right there? It poked all the way through. Oh, Life Crafted. It's all good. I poked all the way through, but I was in the center of that catalog right there. And so it was really easy for my paper piercer just to go right there in that little center. You could do that. Now there are, I can't even remember the name. You could do like a self-healing cutting mat. You could do that. But I think it's just easy to do this in the middle of a catalog or a phone book. I think I'm going to do every 3. We'll do every 3 lines. And I am through again. 1, 2, 3. That third one actually picked up on where one of the staple holes was. 1, 2, 3. This is hard to do and show you. I'm trying to do this so you guys can see everything I'm doing. 1, 2, 3. Right there. It's just a little bit harder to show, but 1, 2, 3, right there. We good? Oh, angel time. Gotcha, Colleen. You're always so good about that. Pretty paper obsession. So you make your pages and then slide them in just like a scrapbook, but without rings. Are you talking about the Citrus Twist thing? It really is like a scrapbook with rings. Because it is rings. It's just that it is thinner. I mean, the pages are more Traveler's Notebook size. 2, 3. Now, I am not a bookbinder by trade, clearly, right? This is just how Lael does things, so don't give me any thumbs down if I'm doing it wrong. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and also make sure not to get your finger because that would really hurt. All right, there we go. So, hang on. There we go. And it's a little bit of a work, right? It's a little bit of work, but that's how you can stop the pages. All right, so now I think I'm going to double knot this. Andrea, you could, yeah, you could take a traveler's notebook apart, but I think with their covers, because there are rings, right? So they're little pocket pages that the pages go in, yeah. Oh, they have a book binding guide. There we go. That would work too. We are memory keepers. Well, maybe I need to get myself one of those, right? A book binding thing from, I'm a surgeon. Yeah, right. Yes, Kelly, I'm a surgeon. Oh, that reminds me. Okay, total squirrel moment. But you guys, last night I woke up in the middle of the night because I had a dream that I slit, what side was it? I think it was right here. I slit my finger from here all the way down to here. Like, and it was totally open. It wasn't like a slit. It was like bad. And I don't know how I did it. It didn't hurt, but I'm like, oh, that's going to be a problem when I try to do my videos. And then I was asking someone, so where do you think I should go to get that fixed? It wasn't bleeding either, which was weird. You could just see everything underneath it. All right, so now I'm taking my needle. Here's my needle. And it's a little clunky, you guys. Because I'm trying to show you what I'm doing at the same time. So now I am going through all of those holes in all the pages. I can't see. Okay. Normally I wouldn't do it this way, but I'm going to do it this way just so you can see. All these pages are going on the holes, or onto my, I need to fix that. Hang on. Sometimes if you do what I do, let's put this off to the side for a second, and you have the washi run from page to page, you may need to separate the washi, right? I'm coming in to separate the washi because I have quite a few of those. Washi needs to be separated. Yeah, right? It will make it much easier. Hang on. There we go. That's a case where those were already separated. That's why you probably never want to do a die cut that would cross both. I cut it first. All right, are we good? Yes, we're good. Okay. Let's keep going with that. All right, there we go. I can probably, let's see if we can add a stack of these now. Yep. Okay. And then a stack more. One thing I would recommend, if you're working with white thread or cotton string or whatever, you probably want to make sure your fingers are really clean because you can see my thread's a little bit discolored just because I had stuff on my fingers. And then we just keep going, you guys. So now we're doing our, I don't even know what kind of stitch that's called. Is it a blanket stitch? And then sometimes I have to just open the pages to make sure that I'm going through the hole in all the right spots. And there we go. Coming back out that other side. And I want it to be taut, but I also don't want to pull on it super, super hard, right? Do I want the tail inside my book? So this is interesting, Tracy. Normally I would probably have the tail inside, but when you think about your traveler's notebook, like my inserts go into a cover, right? So when it goes into a cover, then I'm not going to see this little seam right here, but I would see it in the center. So you could do whatever you wanted, but I think when I do them, I always probably start with it on the outside. All right, so I will just finish this guy. I mean, I won't finish the whole thing because it's like watching paint dry, right? It's like watching paint dry. As I'm just poking holes back and forth, back and forth. It's funny. When Vicky does her mixed media classes, sometimes you have to wait for the paint to dry. So you're really watching paint dry. Although you're doing something else in between. All right, so there's my first stitch, and I just keep on going here. Now, I've done this really fast, you guys. So my little holes here are a little bit off. They get right back on track there, but it's not a big deal because really all I'm doing is I am putting this together so that my pages are now all back together. Anything that's a little bit off here is going to be inside my traveler's notebook, so I'm not going to see that seam. Okay, guys, do you have any questions about that? I always make this string longer than I think I'll need because you know what happens. It would be a bad news if you get halfway through and you realize that you don't have enough string, right? But what's really cool about this, you guys, is, so this is where we're going through this process and we are taking a insert that already exists and we are recovering it. But you could, okay, I lost it. I lost my string. But you could also make your own inserts, right? And I'm going to show you one that I made a long time, well, not a long time ago, but I made last year. Darn it, look what I did. You don't want your little dangly thread to come out. All right, let me just get this in here so I can secure it and then put it away. All right, there we go. I'm sure if I watched a video, an instructional video on how to do that, it might be a little bit easier. Anyhow, there we go, you guys. So I will finish that up later, but we don't need to do that together. But let me show you an insert that I had started to make. This will be familiar to some of you because that was from, hold on, I'm still looking for something. Where's the bound one? I had it earlier, I thought. Maybe not. All right. Way back in here. Hold on, let me look. Way back. Sea Lemon is a great source for bookbinding. Is that a YouTube? Because I will for sure go watch it. I just hack. All right. I mean hack, like I just do it without really knowing. Okay. This was an insert that I had started making way back in, this was probably May, I want to say, on that video that I mentioned earlier on how to make your own inserts. Corey, could you remove staples initially, whole pages with jump cord and notebook stitched together with completed? Absolutely. So here's a good example of that. This is what Corey is saying. Here's an example of an insert that I had started making earlier. So there's a cover. There's some cardstock pages. There are some pattern paper pages that I put in there. That one's upside down. There's a little card. These signatures are backwards. Let's try that. So when you make your own inserts, you can basically add whatever you want, right? Because those are just the little signatures. Each of those guys is a little signature. So if I was working on this and I didn't want to stitch it until the very end, I could just take that, slide it right into my elastic, and then there we go. And that's going to hold it, right? I mean, really, if my traveler's notebook insert is never going to come out of a traveler's notebook, I don't even necessarily need to go through that whole process of stitching it. When I start working on a brand new one, I could just take out the staples. I don't know where that one I had was. I could just take out the staples and have all these little interior pages, and all those interior pages could literally just live in the elastic. So I would never even need to come in and stitch it. I know, Terry, I don't know, right? Terry asked, why do we call them signatures instead of just pages? That's what they're called, I guess, in the bookbinding world. Those are just signatures. Oh, I know. We were talking about, it looked like somebody was talking about, you guys were maybe talking about grid dot paper or lined paper. That's a little bit harder to find, but it sounds like Jenna said you can find printable. I think maybe where you're printing your own. That's the one advantage of having, well, one of the advantages of having an insert that is pre-made. It already has the lines on it. Anyhow, so I could just keep it this way. I could keep it this way until I'm done and then go back in and stitch. A lot of different ways that you can work with your inserts. Again, no right or wrong way. You do what works for you. All right, guys. Dina, is that how you say it? Dina from Ohio. You're watching Vicky this morning? Yes, her all day thing. I'm sure that's so much fun. Are you doing a separate slipcover for the insert in addition to changing the cover? Okay, Colleen, so if I understand what you're saying on the one that we've just been working on this guy, I took off this cover, and this is now my cover. I'm not making a separate slip cover. This is now my cover. Oh, there we go, Celia. See, I don't even know what I'm talking about then. You have 4 pages on a signature. Then it's just a page, Terry. If we have 4 of them grouped together, then it's a signature. All right, so, oh yes. So Colleen asked, am I doing a separate slipcover for the edition in addition to changing the cover? No. This was an example where I was just saying, this guy, I probably am not going to ever need to stitch it because it's not going to come apart for what I'm using it for. So in this case, I'm just slip covering it just so it's cute and decorative. All right, guys. So it is, hold on, let me take this one out. I will, during the break, I will add a link in the description of this video to that video where it's a whole, I don't know, maybe hour and a half where we go through the process of making your own inserts. And then one of the ways to do that is stitching. Another way, though, is with a long reach stapler. Now, with a long reach stapler, I would not use a long reach stapler to solve this issue, right? Where things were, where my things were, my staples were coming out, because again, it's just staples. Really, the only way that you could fix that is if you have staples with really long legs, and I don't think that those are very easy to find. Okay, guys, how many books? Oh, good, Leanne, that's a great question. How many books everyone has going at the same time? Yeah, I couldn't even tell you. I couldn't even count. I have a lot. Because you can use them for so many different things, right? Lists and to-do lists and projects and goals and habit trackers. I mean, yes, you know that. I did a whole video at the very beginning. Like seriously, this was the thing that was really cool. I'll just tell you this really quick, and then we'll do a wrap-up prize, and then we'll take our break and we'll come back. So I've mentioned a couple times the Crop and Create Delivered, the Lunch and Learn, the 1 hour mini class that I did over the weekend. In that private Facebook group, there was a woman who a couple days later came back into the Facebook group and said that her husband has some heart issues and is going to the cardiologist frequently. And he asked her to take notes for him when they're at the cardiologist appointment, because there's a lot of detail, right? So she's using a traveler's notebook to do that. So literally, if you're writing it down, you can use a traveler's notebook for it, right? In that very first video I did, I talk about, actually, you know what? Let me do this. You don't need to see this, but let's talk for the last little bit before we take our break. So I am going to spin the camera back to me, okay? Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, spin. Okay. It's like asking a woman's age. No need to keep track, right? No need to keep track. Or how many cookies you had. No need to keep track. Oh, all right, really quick. I just had to shut the blinds because that light is not flattering at all. All right. So, oh gosh, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, I know. So Lisa just said she used a bullet journal when her dad was super sick to keep notes in, right? When I had our first, that was Jack, he is now 23. I was super type, well, I'm still super type A, but I went to work, back to work with him after 3 months, and we had a woman come into our house and care for him. But I had a notebook. It wasn't a traveler's notebook. It was like a 3-ring binder. And I had a sheet for every day, and it was really cute, and it was decorative. I made a cute little sheet, and I had her fill it out every day. And it had things like when he went to sleep, when he woke up, what he ate, when he'd gone to the bathroom, what 1 or 2, whatever. Because, you know, if you have a new baby, and especially if it's your first new baby, big mess. If you have a new baby or it's your first new baby, those are things that you need to track if you're not with the baby all day. So that would have been a perfect thing for a traveler's notebook, right? If I had known about traveler's notebooks back then, that would have been great because we just could have tracked that in there every day. A couple of the other examples that I shared, I'm running into a cabinet down there, cabinet door, that I shared. Medication. There's some people that take a lot of medications. You could use your traveler's notebook to track the different types of medications and what they're for and the side effects. Years ago, maybe 3, I was teaching at the Pinners Conference in Minnesota, in Minneapolis. And I was teaching a traveler's notebook class. And 2 ladies, a mother-daughter, came up at the end of class and said, "Can we show you something?" And they had their bullet journals with them, which are very similar to traveler's notebook, but different, but similar. And they showed me what they were tracking. And I actually took pictures of them. And the pictures of those are in my very first, that traveler's notebook session that I did here on my YouTube channel. And I asked if I could, but one of them that was so fun, you guys, they were watching The Bachelor, and they were using their bullet journal, traveler's notebook, they had printed out little tiny photos of all of the bachelorettes, whichever one it was, and their names, and then they were crossing them out when they didn't get the rose and all that, which was really fun. Another one of the ladies was using it did a lot of quilting, and so she had drawn out the different standard quilting sizes in her traveler's notebook. So it can be used for so many different things. So yes, when we talk about how many you have, then you shouldn't be embarrassed to say you have 3,812, unless you try to take them all with you when you go somewhere, because then that's a problem. All right, guys, so let me see. I probably missed a bunch of things. So let me just scroll back up a little bit. Oh, there's Nick. I don't know if he just popped in. So yes, he's been out of town. He was out of town yesterday. Kim, if you are here, Thursday when I said Nick wasn't going to be here, I did not say that Nick was out of town. I have to be really careful, and Karen or Kim reminds me of this. So I know you guys, right? There are a lot of people that watch these, but then there's a lot of people that I have no clue watches, and I have to be careful about saying when my husband's going to be out of town, because then that means I'm home alone. Anyhow, but he's on his way home, so he'll be here later. Maybe he'll, oh yeah, look, I have my different readers. I mentioned earlier I had to take the other ones off because it's too much. It's too much for me to try to keep on while I'm doing this. Because there's a lot of this up and down. Let's see. I'm just checking out comments real quick, you guys. Well, there you go. Create and Play with Renee used that's why I have that horrible thing right there, is because I'm always doing this. I'll try not to do that as I'm reading. New job to keep track of her duties. Really, anything that you want to write down, right? Maybe you have movies that you want to watch, or books that you want to read, or shows that you want to watch. Art journals. Yes, a lot of people use Traveler's Notebook for an art journal. You could use it for swatching things, like swatching your inks or swatching your colored pencils, or making a list of all of the stamps that you have, or, anything you need to keep track of. Okay, let's see. Yeah, yes, we've missed Nick's input, right? Giving us all of our list topics, right? Okay, so kids' doctor's appointment, broken bones, stitches and meds, right? Then you guys are throwing out so many awesome different examples that you could use a Traveler's Notebook for. Really, anything that you write down. Daily gratitude, absolutely. Your canning supplies. Teresa, the eye doctor. So Teresa, these are the progressives that I'm trying to get used to, but about an hour in today, I had to take them off because it's just too much of my eyes moving around. Disney Journal, oh, love it, yes. Yes, more likes, more likes, more likes, more likes. Baby geckos, okay, I don't know if you keep track of baby geckos, sure. I don't know, I missed something there, right? Isn't that funny? Do all the things, exactly. Do all the things in a TN. Really, that's it. Daily gratitude, yes. If you are newer, or if you need a refresher, you guys, back in March of 2020, the very first video, Traveler's Notebook video, I did about an hour and a half, and it was a really good kind of recap rundown of what a Traveler's Notebook is, the different sizes, and then the different things you can use them for. So I show you examples of probably 40 or 50 different things that I use a Traveler's Notebook for. And they're my actual Traveler's Notebooks. So you can see, sometimes they're pretty, sometimes they're not at all. They're purely functional. So that would be a good thing to go back and watch if you kind of need a refresher looking for some more ideas. Oh, there we go. Sarah said taking notes from your videos. And you know what? That is actually something I do. Not my own videos, but I do make notes for my videos in a Traveler's Notebook. But if I'm watching a video, like if I'm watching a how-to video about, something, I will totally make notes. But then when I do that, I get out my stamps and my stickers, because as I'm listening, I'm also creating, and I found that I'm a little bit more engaged when I'm doing that. And I write down things that are kind of aha moments. And there have been a lot of studies shown when you're reading like that, or if you're listening, that if you're writing down things, your chances of remembering those or things sticking are a lot greater if you're listening and writing some of those things together. And then you can obviously go back and refer to them. Okay, you guys, so we have, oh gosh, Create and Plan with PlannerCon. I don't know, so hard to tell, right? If they're still doing PlannerCon in San Francisco this year, it's all up in the air, right? Because it depends on California. Well, it really depends on anywhere, because if you have a particular area or pocket or state, even part of the country that has a COVID spike, then they can't do it. So it'll be interesting. All right, guys, house projects. Yes. I mean, so many different things. Okay. So we are at 12:58 my time. We are going to break, but I have two more prizes, I think, before we break. So hang tight. Whoopsie. Here we go. Oh, this is funny. There's a whole thing that I didn't even get to, the swatching of ink. So we'll probably start out the next one with the swatching of inks. I won't get it done, for sure not, but we'll start that process just because I think it'll be a fun one to kind of walk through. So that means there are actually 3 prizes that I still need to give away. And then I'll have to move 2 of the prizes till later. So hold on, let me just make a little note here. These will come down here because those prizes pertain to the swatching. All right. The 2 prizes here. One is going to be for live. So one, I will pick a person live, but the other one, the break's going to be an hour. The other one is you can leave a comment on the video after the fact. So if you did not get to watch live and you're watching the replay, I'll do prizes in the comments on the video as well. So the first one is, this is fun. This was something that was sent to me by one of you. Mindy, this is Mindy Hall. So Mindy reached out and said, hey, guess what? I know none of us have ever done this. I accidentally bought 2 of the same thing. So I thought it'd be great if I send it to you and you give them away during one of our sessions. And I said, perfect, National Scrapbook Day. So there are 2 stamps. One is this little roller stamp, this Carpe Diem Make It Happen roller stamp. But the other one, see that? That is a Carrie Bradford stamp set. You guys, this is awesome. This is a 6x8 stamp set. So those are usually about $25. And it is her thick outline extra large. So Mindy donated these to give away. And this prize right here will go to, Sherry Haynes. Sherry Haynes. So Mindy, oh my gosh, this is funny. That was supposed to be this afternoon. That's okay. I mean, it didn't matter, but wait, hold on. Mindy Haynes, is that right? Did I mess that up? Not Karen Haynes. No, Sherry Haynes. Oh my heavens, not Mindy. I'm thinking Mindy Hall. Oh gosh, you guys. Yeah, it's too hard for me to try to do all the things at once. Sherry Haynes. All right, Sherry Haynes has that prize pack. All right, then the other one, this is leaving a comment. So there are lots and lots and lots of bundles that I have on the website today for National Scrapbook Day. This is one of them. This is the One Fine Day collection from My Mind's Eye. There's washi, there are die cuts, and then there are little stamps hidden under there. So for this one, you guys, this one we won't do in the live chat. This one, you will leave a comment on this video once we're done. So anytime during this week, I will announce these prize winners when we're leaving the comments on the video. I will announce them next week. So two types of prizes that we're doing today. One is I'm just randomly picking in the chat, and I just scroll up and my finger stops, and then that's who wins the prize. So it's too hard for me to do the time ones like I did when Nick was here. The other way to win a prize is to leave a comment on the video after the fact. So this guy, leave a comment on the video after the fact. Then that way, if you aren't able to make it live, you still can participate in prizes. All right, so there is one more that I'm going to do right now. Let's do this on my prize table here. This is still in the bag, but this is a 6x8 album from Scrapbook.com. And it is like a nice kind of pleather-ish, vegan leather. There's a nice little book plate there, metal corners, 2 D-rings, and then you can add pocket pages to that, or really whatever you wanted. So this album, we'll also do this one as a giveaway in the comments. So for this morning session, we have 2 giveaways for the comments. We have this One Fine Day prize pack from Layout and this one from Scrapbook.com. So once we're done, not in the chat, hop back in, leave a comment on the video, and your comment could be anything, really. I don't know, tell me something if you were doing an About Last Month list, even if you weren't, just tell me something that if you were doing the list, you'd put on it for yourself for the month of April. So it could be that you got your hair cut. It could be you walked the dog. It could be that you went on a vacation. It could be that you had your COVID shot. It could be that you went back to work. It could be that you retired, whatever. It could be that you had spaghetti for dinner. Okay, so those. All right, friends. So this is a really, really important part, okay? Very important. Our afternoon session will start at 1 o'clock Pacific time, so a little bit less than an hour away, but it is a separate link, right? There's not a way unless I just left it like this and I walked away and then you just saw this. There is not a way to continue a video. So as soon as we end, this link is done. There is a second link, and the second link, well, if you just go to my YouTube page, you'll see it. And if not, if you go to the blog, you'll see the link there. Okay, friends, any questions before? Well, I shouldn't even ask that because I could just be here. I'll just talk forever. You guys know that. I'm sure I missed all different kinds of things. So if I miss something, we'll start out the first couple of minutes when we all get back together again. And let me know if I missed anything when we get back together. Afternoon session, we have 4 hours instead of 3. This morning was 3, afternoon is 4. So I will, yes, I have to go find something to eat. We will do that, and I will see you guys back here. Well, back here on YouTube, but different link. I'll see you guys back here a little less than an hour, okay? Go to the bathroom, get something to drink, get something to eat, take a quick nap if you need, whatever it is, but I will see you guys back here. I'm gonna be Chuck Woolery in 2 and 2, but it's not really 2 and 2, it's really an hour. Okay guys, I'll see you back in a bit. Bye-bye.